live. What's up, fellas? Good evening. Good evening. Thursday. The
Yeah.
other half of hump day.
Yeah. I don't know why
feeling
you
out
started off like that. That was just
Hey, that's one. That's one. That's 1 point on me. That's
oh
one
no.
point.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's one on me.
Yeah.
That is wild. My bad. My bad. Yo, the chat is going crazy with the comment and Pete Rock talk right now, man. I see y'all out there in the chat. We appreciate y'all. Make sure you guys like, subscribe. Make sure you continue to like and subscribe. Push the like button over and over and over tonight. Like and subscribe, share, do all those great things that we need to continue to build the channel. We are right now close to 1,500 out there viewers. And we'll continue to grow. Our viewership is outgrowing the pace of those who are actually logged in. So we want to make sure that match and continue to exceed. So again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Please subscribe.
Shout out to the people who continue to support us so early, so strong. Like our views outweigh our following. And so as long as that continues, you know what I'm saying? Like that's my goal right now. Like as far as like for us, it's like our views outweigh our following, which means we're touching the culture already very early. And that's the important part.
Yeah, y'all don't have to keep sampling the product. Just tap all the way in. You know what I mean?
You know, some people like to dibble and dabble. You know what I'm saying? Before they make a decision.
Yeah, eat the whole pie. Pause. You know what I mean? Don't
yeah,
up the edges.
Get to the topic.
Let's start the show.
Yeah, let's start the show. It's
2 for 2. 2 for 2.
Yeah, let's run it. Let's run it.
Yo, so I want to get right to it, fellas. We got a lot to talk about tonight. A lot of heavy topics. We're going to break a lot of different news tonight because we saw 2 different things that came out. 2 different lists from Billboard, one from Complex that we want to get into. But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about the Essence Festival, because I was noticing that this trend was going on with Busta Rhymes and what he was saying with the whole crew, with everybody who was out there watching the show, watching the Essence Festival, which was last week, by the way, in New Orleans. Shout out to the Essence Festival crew in the chat. Shout out to New Orleans. Shout out to Essence Festivals as a whole. And shout out to all the promoters and all the reps out there who worked very hard for an entire year to prepare for the Essence Festival. So salute to you guys and shout out to you guys. You know who you are. I appreciate the love, appreciate the support, and thank you for pulling up for the night. So with that being said, fellas, I want to show y'all this just in case you didn't get a chance to see it, but I want to show this to you guys, and I'm going to kick it to both of you guys to comment and react.
Fuck going on? What the fuck going on? Hey, yo, fuck them camera phones, too. Let's get back to interacting like humans. Put them weird-ass devices down. I ain't from that era. Them shits don't control the soul. Fuck your phone. Excuse me, gentlemen. Thank you very much. I will point every last one of y'all out until y'all asses is up. 33 years of doing this shit, I ain't used to niggas sitting down at my show. I don't give a fuck. All age groups, get your ass up now. I see you, beautiful queen. Get up, too. Fuck going on? Everybody up top, too. Get your big head asses up.
Talk to me, fellas. I want y'all to react to this.
You want to go first, Coop, or you want me to lead off?
I want you to lead, AG, because you were tight about it. I want you to be the batter up. I want Coop to clean up a little bit on this one.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Busta Rhymes, man. Like, you know,
shout out to Busta Rhymes. That's how you're starting off. This is ridiculous.
Absolutely. His fit was a little bit wild, but you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Busta Rhymes. I felt what he was talking about because, you know, I've been, you know, an advocate of going to a lot of hip hop shows and living in the moment. You know what I'm saying? I'm not with this era where everybody's too busy trying to capture a moment and give it to somebody else. You know what I mean? Sometimes it can be a little clout chasey, you know what I mean? But I think a lot of times people need to enjoy the show. That takes out of the interaction with the crowd, with the camera phones out, with the filmings. You know, I've been to a lot of shows. I'll pull, you know, my camera phone out, get a flick, couple videos, then I'll put it away and enjoy the show. You know, so I feel where Busta Rhymes was coming from, because we come from the era where it was mostly interaction. And the definition of an MC is what? Move the crowd, right? So you can't really do that if everybody's like, zombied out, you know what I'm saying, looking at their camera phones, holding it up, videotaping and all that. So I'm with what Busta was saying, for real.
This guy, that's the asshole that I met outside of Madison Square Garden. That's him. There he goes.
I mean, you got beef with everybody, Coop. So
there he goes. There he goes. That's not true. That's not true. I don't have beef with everybody. I want to see all my brothers and sisters succeed. It's just if you're wrong, you know what I'm saying, I'm able to check you on it. And
Kendrick, excuse me, sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. Let me know. Done tight, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So that's all. I want to see everybody win. But a spade is a spade. And, he can be, okay, let's be nice about it. He can be rambunctious at times with his fan base. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So this was one of his more rambunctious moments. You know what I'm saying? He normally doesn't do this where you can catch him on camera doing it. Oh, but he does this. I'm not surprised at all. I didn't feel any type of way about it. Like when I saw it, I was like, yeah.
Yo, the pants is wild. I'm sorry. The joints look like stained glass windows, bro. Shit's wild. What? His pants look like stained glass windows, fam.
That's great.
This is what we're doing. This is a legend, man. What are we doing here? This is a legend.
we just need Mary Magdalene in the middle of the pants.
Busta got the cathedral pants on, bro. It's crazy.
Maybe Busta goes to mass. I don't know.
But you didn't share those same sentiments, like as far as the interaction with the show. You don't share those sentiments.
I actually heard and got wind of the fact that part of the reason why the crowd was so dilapidated was due to inclement weather issues. And so that's one of those things where it's like, before you go running around and think people are disrespecting you, maybe you should ask if it's fucking raining outside in New Orleans. That might be a little bit of a trigger for the people there, given what's happened. A little water, a little wind might traumatize those people and make them say, oh, hell no, I ain't going to be the one. Catch you next year. But he didn't even check the weather. So a lot of what happened was due to inclement weather, I was told. So that's where having a team and not thinking too much or too little of yourself kind of comes into play. And that's what I mean when I say it's like, oh no, that's the guy that I met outside the garden, because his ego is so big that he thought the reason was because people wasn't fucking with him. It's like, no, it's not that people was not fucking with you. I still fuck with them. Mm. It's raining outside in New Orleans. Like, they're like, no. The end. Yo. How about that?
I look at it a little bit different.
That's what I think. I didn't think nothing of it. I'm like, yeah, that's the guy, and overstated because the inside information that I got was like, it's just wet and mucky outside in fucking July. Nobody wants to go outside. It's 112. It feels like 112 degrees with that humidity in New Orleans. Nobody wants to go outside in that shit after it's rained.
Like Michael Jordan, he represented the garden yesterday. He like Jordan, like, yo, I took that personally. Busta Rhymes telling people to stand up. Coop's like, yo, I took that personally.
I remember Coop was talking about that. Yo, Coop was like, yo, I'm cool from recording hip hop at that time. And Busta was like, yo, get out of my face, man. It's
like one of his bodyguards literally hit me with like the shoulder bump. I was like,
somebody tell you to get out of their face with stained glass pants on is crazy, Coop. I ain't gonna lie.
No, he had on like green and gold. He looked like Black Flash Gordon the night that I seen him.
That's even worse.
Yeah, it is worse. That's neither here nor there. But like, no, I'm really not surprised, Sean or AG. Like, I'm not surprised at all. It's not a big deal to me. I understand because it's busting, because it's going viral. Like, we got to talk about it. I'm like, yeah, that's him. Next. Yeah. I'm very ambivalent about it. How about that? I don't have anything really negative to say. It's just like, yeah, that's him.
That's a good word to use. I look at it different.
Go get what you pay for.
Yeah, you do. The people that come there for a Busta Rhymes show, when people go to honestly, when people go to the actual Essence Festival, they're going for like jazz, they're going for the R&B, mostly for the R&B. Because he even made a comment. He was like, aunties, get your asses up or whatever. But they're going there for the R&B. They're going for the R&B. And you can see the crowd really wasn't packed into the arena just yet. But normally, if you go to a concert very early, what you would notice is that they would actually pull they're trying to get the crowd to come to the front. They're trying to get everyone to come into like one grouping so they can get a good picture of it, to show that they have some attendance in that particular crowd, that particular concert. I took it as him just trying to get everyone to interact and engage before he got into his groove. Not so much as him being a dirtbag or being, you know, an asshole. I think it was just more of him trying to get everyone into the groove. But that's how Busta Rhymes is. A lot of people have met Busta Rhymes, similar to Cool, who had some bad experiences. I've never had any issues. I met him once back in like 2001 when he was at his height. And he was like killing everything at that time. But over the years, you know, he kind of like, when I think AG said it before, he's kind of like a Chuck D, and also like a KRS-One, when they feel like the hip hop community owes them more than what they give. So he probably look at like this crowd like, I'm not selling out anymore. Y'all better do something for me. Better do some monkey flips or something, because I'm up here. I need something.
Rappers are monkey flipping. Let me say this. Busta's an energy guy. All his music is predicated on energy. So if he wasn't getting that back from the crowd, then, you know, like I said, I feel what he was saying. And, you know, it's a get off my line moment for me. I'm just not with having your cell phone out the entire time you at a show instead of enjoying the interaction with who's on stage or whatever. But how do y'all think this makes the OGs look? Because we had this incident, and this is coming off the heels of the incident with Hot 97, Meth and Red. So do you think that that's making the OGs look bad, or, you know, what's y'all's take from that?
It's changing OG to old grumpy. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing about it. It's like when you say, yeah, old grumpy, that's what OG is standing for today. When you sit up here, okay, AG, so listen to what you said. You're not a big fan of people pulling their cell phone out during a show. It's like, no, that's the world we live in. Yeah. I need my footage. When I went to see Pusha T, oh no, I'll spend half the show with my fucking camera up. It's like, oh no, I want to keep this.
Yeah. But does that affect your interaction though? That's, you know, from a personal standpoint. Do you feel like you're too locked in to, you know, recording or capturing the footage?
You have to find your balance,
right,
in the moments. So I've learned because I've been to so many shows now, like I've learned to find my balance of when I should record and when I should just like take the moment in. And sometimes taking the moment in means like missing your favorite song getting recorded, right. You know? But also part of the reason that you create a memory is to trigger other memories. It's like when I go back and look at the Pusha T footage, it's like, oh yeah, it's like, and then he performed that, and then he performed that, because it starts coming back to me as the memory. So it works well on both sides. You just have to find your balance. Like when I went to the Kanye show, the bipolar sociopathic guy next to me that literally held his phone up like this, like he held it like this. Like from the moment Kanye came out, he did like this and hit record on the phone, and he didn't move. He stood there like that. That's going too far.
Right.
Like that ain't what you came for. Like you may have recorded every piece of what happened, but you didn't get any sort of real experience. I mean, this motherfucker didn't get no water, popcorn. He didn't get a pretzel. There were beers and peanuts to be had. Like there was margaritas being drank by patrons your age around you, and he missed all of that because it was more important for him to record it. That's going too far. But just the days, times that we live in, you have to find your balance, and you have to keep the footage to say that you were there, because now everybody said they were there.
Exactly.
And what
everybody said they were there. It's like, oh yeah, you were there. Where's your footage of you being there? Because that's the way the world really works now.
It's a love-hate thing for me, because if I'm there, I hate doing it because I feel like we need to be interacting. But if I'm not there, I got to keep it a buck. I do appreciate people that capture that footage, because I didn't get to go to the Garden show, you know, when Nas performed the King's Disease trilogy. But you go on YouTube, people got the show from front to back, you know, A to Z. So, you know, I do appreciate that. But like, I'm with you, Coop, what you said, you got to find that balance. So,
yeah. So, well, here's the cool thing about, I'll tell you where my balance has changed, because I do quote unquote some media work now. Like when I was at the Nas show, and by the way, I still haven't released any of my footage. We can start releasing that on Hip Hop Talks, though, as it starts to culminate. Because when I took the footage with the intent of it being anniversary-like, and like it being further down the line. So it's like, you know, as the Nas and Hit Boy legend grows for what they just did, the plan is to release that footage as that comes. But when you operate in the media, you do also have to understand it's like, well, even when on your off time, no, you're on. And so I didn't probably enjoy the Nas show as much as other people did because I was making sure I got the footage because I was thinking about the long term. So it's all about what you want out of the show. Like there are parts of the show where it's like I got to go watch my footage to remember that it's like that actually happened because I was making sure that I got footage.
Yeah. Even
though I was enjoying the show. Some shit you can't help. Like when Ain't Hard to Tell comes on, I'm just like, man, fuck this camera. You know, but
it's a balance. It's a balance.
You gotta find your balance.
You do. You do. AJ, get the super chat real quick before we move on to the next part.
Tracy G, shout out to you with the $5 super chat. Says, I agree with Busta interacting intimately and socially, screw the phones, human connection. I'm with that.
Yeah. It's a connection.
I'm not. You're not. I mean, you're just not being realistic when you say that, though. That's the problem with that. You're not being realistic.
Nah.
Yo, see, I'm the opposite, Coop. I saw Nas perform probably about, I think it was like 4 times. In one show I was at, he did Verbal Intercourse, Take It in Blood, Silent Murder, like back to back. And I didn't like pull out my phone until those, because I was like, yo, when I tell the homies, they ain't gonna believe that he performed these particular songs because those are not the singles. You know what I'm saying? So I pulled my phone out to them to capture those moments. You know what I'm saying?
So this is the part of the balance too. The last time I saw him, I didn't take one piece of footage, but I could tell you everything that happened and how it happened. And that's what I mean about finding your balance. Part of what made me okay, like quote unquote, like, you know, covering the show instead of watching the show. It's like, oh no, I've watched these shows in full before. I have those memories. You get what I'm saying? I have those memories.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to take some footage. Because the last time I just rolled fucking 3 blunts up with my Puerto Rican homie and we got to it on the balcony and whose world is this? World is yours. It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. I already did that.
Right.
So where are we going next?
So I want to go to the next part of this. And hold on for a minute, guys. Let me pull it back up. I want to go to the next part because, again, staying on the topic of New Orleans and the Essence Festival, we also had a situation where there was supposed to be a Hot Boys reunion. I told you guys about a month ago. Shout out to Stacks. Stacks in the comments. Stacks and I had an opportunity to spend some time with Juvie at Juvie Tuesdays. And we were talking about like just getting prepped for the Hot Boys reunion. And the first rollout was supposed to be at the Essence Festival, with the second rollout being for the Super Bowl, possibly, because Lil Wayne still might be doing his thing with the Super Bowl this upcoming this next year. Can you guys still hear me? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was trying to play the video. So I'm going to play this video of something that really hurt my heart, man. And I just want to get you guys' thoughts on it as well. Give me one second.
You're hurt? Are you hurt?
I am. Because I want you to see this.
Y'all got me fucked up, man. To clear the record on that, man. Nigga, I say fuck a Hot Boy tour, nigga. And that come from me before I let a nigga disrespect me, homie. Yay. Nigga, disrespect won't be tolerated, nigga. I don't give a fuck who a nigga is. Ain't no big eye, no little use over me, man. BG better sit his motherfucking ass down somewhere, man. That nigga don't run shit around here, not with me. He might run that shit with you niggas, man. He don't run that shit with me, man. He ain't doing nothing but running his motherfucking mouth. For real, dog. Them whack ass raps, man. That shit whack, nigga. And I said that, nigga. All you nigga dick riding around here, man. That shit whack. That's why the nigga gotta play all these motherfucking games. He trying to get some type of mother.
Y'all get the gist of it. Y'all get the gist. So I don't think we're going to get that full reunion, fellas.
First of all,
that one hurt me, man, because I remember 20 years ago, I wasn't even on no Hot Boy stuff. But spending time in New Orleans and being in the culture, doing some work down there and all that good stuff and getting to know them guys down there. some really good dudes, man. They're really hip hop heads. Like their hip hop is real hip hop because they're talking about like instruments. They're talking about the lineage of hip hop in itself. So they take it to heart. And I thought we was going to get that Hot Boys. I wanted more so for the city of New Orleans to get that Hot Boys reunion, and to hear Turk, and BG going back and forth in this manner, and it didn't happen. Wayne actually did his own set because Wayne didn't want to do the actual Hot Boys set without Turk. So Wayne was like, well, if Turk is not here, I'm not getting on here. So Wayne ended up doing his own thing. No malice from Wayne. He didn't have no issues with Birdman or Juvie or BG, but he was just saying, I'm not doing it half-ass. It's going to be all of us or none of us. So I want to get you guys' thoughts. What do y'all think, man? I don't know if you guys are really Hot Boy fans, but what do you guys think about this?
May I, AG? May I?
Go ahead, bro.
This wasn't happening. It's never happening. Let me tell you why it was never happening. First of all, 2 of the 4 have been institutionalized for the better part of the past decade. All right? You don't put dynamite in a room with a grenade and expect shit not to blow up. When you've been institutionalized, the same ramifications and effects that it took to build up those types of things and made you institutionalized can take comparable time unraveling those things. And so due to incarceration status, all of that is still unraveling. Okay? But also, too, you have to understand, this is a little 2-on-2 going on, too, that people really aren't noticing. Juvenile and BG used to be the top dogs in this crew.
Facts.
Wayne wasn't the man in this crew. Wayne was never the man in this crew. Wayne didn't become the man until about 7-8 years after this crew disbanded.
Facts.
You spit.
He came up with Turk.
Yep.
So his memories of the Hot Boys are Juvie and BG playing the front while he has to play the back. Now he's the front man of all front men in this crew, clearly and definitely. And what he's saying is that, well, I'm gonna show my leverage in the situation. The homie's not coming. You still got a problem with the homie? Well, then I'm not coming because I got the leverage now to do that. I didn't have that leverage when we did this the first time. Now I do. Now who's the man? Who the man now? Who? That's what's going on. And so when he's making it seem like it's just about Turk, yeah, it's about Turk, but you're also exerting your power and your leverage in the situation because you know who you are in relationship to this group. This Hot Boys tour doesn't sell the same without Wayne now.
Really doesn't.
Even though most of the songs that they would be performing actually still would be go back to Juvenile and BG. They made most of the hits. They made most of the big records. And so really what it would become also too is a Lil Wayne feature in the Hot Boys tour. Kind of like Michael Jackson in the Jackson 5. Be like, my name is David Ruffin. And right chair. And so there's some of that going on too because BG and Turk been incarcerated for a long time. And Juvenile, as far as recording music and putting music out, I mean, we haven't heard a Juvie album since when? We haven't heard a Juvie. How many times we get a Juvie verse? You know what I'm saying? So Wayne would really be the momentum behind this, and he's exercising that right. It's what stars do.
That's fair. What do you think, AG? Are you even a Hot Boys fan? I know it's a little different vibration for you guys.
Well, it's funny you bring that up. You know what I'm saying? When I was in college at Marshall, I was never a fan of the Hot Boys. I remember one of my homies from Lexington, Kentucky. We almost got to scrapping because homie tried to tell me that, you know what I mean? After a late night at the club, guys was sauced up, and then he was trying to tell me that the Hot Boys and Big Timers were better than the Wu-Tang Clan. It almost came to fisticuffs for real. I was like, yo, yeah. I was like, you wild for that. But what I could see, in Lil Wayne when he was younger, I don't mess with them, you know what I mean? And because they weren't lyrical like that, but I was like, that guy, he's a star. You know what I mean? I said that from the jump. You know what I mean? If it's anybody out of the group that I can listen to, I felt like it was him. But to your point, Coop, you know, you made a very valid point. He wasn't the front guy. You know, that was all Juvie, that was all BG. But you know, over time I ended up becoming more of a you know, Hot Boys fan, and then especially Lil Wayne fan when, you know, during his solo career, when he adopted a lot of the New York up north sound. But I say all that to say this, I'm gonna take a little bit different angle. I respect the angle that Wayne took. You know what I mean? If he's saying, yo, I'm neutral, I'm Switzerland, you know what I mean? If y'all beefing, and it's a lot of inner problems with a lot of different people off that label, right? But if he's using his leverage, like who pointed out, to say, you know what, I'm neutral. If it's not all of us, then I ain't with it either. I'm not mad at that, because we've all had family beef before, right? You know what I mean? And you had somebody on your family who wasn't messing with somebody else in your family. And sometimes, I don't know about y'all, but I've had to take positions sometimes where I'd be like, yo, you know, if we can't politic and kick it together, then I guess it won't be anything. You know what I mean? Because, you know, inner family beef, you know what I mean? So, and I'm with Coop. I don't think this is something that would ever happen. And I don't see a lot of them, you know, putting that stuff, you know, behind them. You know what I mean? It's too much. It's too much to be worked out. There's a lot of messy stuff in there. So,
no doubt. My homeboy, just the guy I was telling you guys about before the show, from New Orleans, he said Juvie and Turk from Magnolia, BG and Baby from the 13th Ward, and Wayne from Holly Grove. That's all you need to know. And this is a guy who's neutral. And I'm actually going to be in New Orleans next week. He's neutral to all of them. He's connected to all of them. And he would just give me some geography and saying, you know, how they pretty much came together. And, you know, again, like I told you guys, when I was having that conversation with Juvie and his nephew about the reunion, there was some trepidation there. Because, you know, like you guys mentioned, there was different layers to when those guys came out. And I see Dre 7 says from New Orleans, salute to Dre 7. And again, salute to Essence Festival crew in the chat as well. One of the things that they shared with me was Juvie was a standalone in the very beginning. He had his own thing, right? He has his own legend in New Orleans, right? Wayne started transitioning more to a different sound that wasn't conducive to that New Orleans sound, if you will, right?
Bounce.
Right.
Juvie did hip hop bounce before Cash Money. Absolutely. And that's really what 400 Degrees is. 400 Degrees is just the melting of the bounce in New Orleans with hip hop aesthetics. That's why it's so powerful.
Absolutely. When Stacks and I are riding around New Orleans and they're playing different music for us that I've never heard before, that came out like in the early 90s, it's just a rehash of what we heard later on. Like Back That Ass Up is just a rehash of what came out in the early 90s. We just got a different version of it later on when it got big and when it got popular. Even Ha, that's how, you know, all those things that they were doing at that time, it was just them kind of polishing it off and bringing it to the masses. And I say that to say, I don't think Wayne was wrong. But at the time when the city probably wanted him to represent, because that was a time for them to see at least majority of them, 95% of them on stage together in unity, just to do at least one song or just to come on and hug each other. That would have been big for the city of New Orleans. I don't think they care about it because he still did a phenomenal show. He still did his own show. I don't even think Big Frida was out there because Big Frida's really huge in New Orleans as well. But I think that he could have done a little something by at least coming on stage with them, hugging up, take a couple of pictures, do one song, and then go into your set.
But I'm gonna play devil's advocate though, Sean. What does that look like? Because, you know, Turk always been lowest on the totem pole, right? So if they decide to, I'm sorry, go ahead, Coop.
No, I'm sorry. That's why it's not happening. That's what I'm saying. That's why, like, it's too much division going on.
It is.
Right. So if Wayne does come out there with, you know, Juvie and BG and all that, like, I just think the optics look funny because, you know what I'm saying, Turk is often the member that's forgotten about. So if they continue to move accordingly without him, then I just think the optics of it, you know what I mean? To me, it looks bigger of Wayne to say, like, yo, if homie can't be a part of this or won't be a part of this, then I'm cool with not, you know, going through with it all together. You know what I'm saying? I'll just do my own thing. So
no doubt. No doubt. I don't disagree. I don't disagree. Like Coop said, lines are drawn. And it's one of those things where you got to pick a side at that point, because if Wayne go on there and show unity with them, what does that send a message to Turk when he feel like Turk probably feels like, yo, you my guy. You know what the tension I have with BG or whoever else.
Yeah,
you know
but
what I'm saying?
but also
makes
like when you start going back to the wards and the projects and stuff and how stuff goes too, that runs deeper. Like I tell you what, it's like when it's like down here when I meet somebody and I be like, "Where you from?" They're like, "I'm from the South Side." I'll be like, "Oh, I'm from the East Side." They'd be like, "Oh, okay, that's what's up." But when I meet somebody, I'm like, "I'm from the East Side." They'd be like, "I'm from the East Side too, man." It's different.
Right.
So those
Right.
feelings are different because you were kind of raised to feel differently, even about your piece, your part. You know what I'm saying? And so that still manifests itself like money and adversity reveal character and define character. You get what I'm saying? So there's money and adversity involved. So what you're seeing is like some shit that was literally going on before they was even on manifests itself too. You know what I'm saying? It brings itself to life, you know, because they ain't really dealt with it. Two of them been gone. One of them's been kind of estranged. The other dude's one of the greatest MCs of all times. There's a lot of dynamics to deal with. There's a lot of money, a lot of memories, a lot of pride, a lot of egos, a lot of fucking turf shit going on.
Yeah.
Like,
and let's not get it twisted. Juvie was a big star. Now to see where Wayne's at, the dynamics changing, the family dynamics changing. That has a lot to do with it. To Coop's point.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's like it's different. Like, how about this? It's like my little sister's that nigga now. It's not me anymore.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like in the family, it's like, oh no. She's the one that people are looking at like, I had my time, I had my turn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's 15 years younger than me. You know what I'm saying? She's out here fucking getting it. You know what I'm saying? The family recognizes that she's getting it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no. I had my run. My run was great. I made 400 degrees. You know what I'm saying? I had hot.
Yeah.
I changed shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a Wayne in my family. That's what I'm saying. It's like I'm Juvie in my family, but it's like I got a Wayne in my family. But it's like, the relationship is different because never really broke away.
He's out of here. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, this motherfucker's out of this world. It's like, yeah, I know. I helped raise her.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I'm well aware. That was part of the plan. This was part of the plan. This is the way the plan was supposed to go. On Bling Bling, you hear Baby say by 2000, Wayne gonna tear this game up.
Yeah.
This was by design.
It's by design.
Watching BG and Juvie's success and mistakes is what enabled that to happen.
Right.
It's different now. All that shit is at play. You know what I'm saying? And usually OGs got to put their pride aside and like fall back. Like me, I learned how to put my pride aside and fall back. It's like, oh, she got it. Oh, you got it under control? Shit. Go ahead.
One thing about my fault.
No, I'm done.
I was gonna say one thing I always rock with them more than I rock with No Limit. What's y'all's thoughts on that real quick, as far as comparing them to the No Limit movement?
Go ahead, Sean.
What's funny, Sean?
Because I'm just thinking about my young self, man. I didn't like both. I didn't like none of them. I used to clown like people about them, to be quite honest. Like I knew when I first met dudes from New Orleans when I was in the military in '99. I used to laugh at them. I'm like, y'all don't know about hip hop. I used to like literally laugh at them, like to the point where they wanted to fight because I was so disrespectful. But full circle moment, I spent a lot of my time in New Orleans, doing different projects and stuff like that. And I've always felt that in the beginning, but No Limit had more of a West Coast aesthetic. For the moment, I thought that they were from the West Coast. I thought they were from the Bay. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what I thought. That's where Master P got his formula from. You know what I'm saying? He lived in the Bay.
He took a lot of Pac in his formula.
Yeah.
I think he just took a lot of Bay. Like
Pac, it was
Mac, 40 Short. Yeah. And the hustle part of the game about the distribution side of it, about how they was hustling tapes back then.
Absolutely.
If you don't know what a tape is, we can't have a conversation, by the way.
Right, no doubt. But being enthralled in that culture, Sean, that's what got you put on to a lot of that.
Oh yeah,
a lot of the music.
Again, so, everything's full circle. Everything full circle for me. But that's why I laugh, because I remember in '99 in North Carolina, Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, I was laughing at this guy who was from the Magnolia Projects. He had gold fronts and we call him Gold Mouth. He was in the Marine Corps with me, and we were at the dinner table talking about hip hop, and I was laughing at them about No Limit and about Cash Money, because that was when Ha had just came out, and I remember laughing because Jay-Z got on a remix of Ha, and I was like, that's why Jay-Z is a goofy, because he's trying to rap Ha to this whack song. I thought the song was whack. I thought Bling Bling was whack. I thought all of that was whack.
Jay was just trying to bridge the gap, man. But I thought the song was pretty bad myself, but
it's terrible.
So I'm somewhere in the middle of you two. Okay. I wasn't the biggest fan of No Limit, but that was in a time where it's like I listened to more traditional lyricists and spitters, and so it wasn't my thing.
Exactly.
T Murder's album's fucking dope. TRU dope.
Yeah.
On some rap shit though. Soulja Slim, and when he was with No Limit,
yeah,
and Mystical were the only guys that I felt like could fuck with the Cash Money guys though. That was my thing with it. Is like if we just talking on some rap shit, it's like when No Limit got Mystical. Yeah, they had C Murder for a minute because C Murder can rap.
C Murder can rap.
C Murder can rap. We just didn't get enough C Murder because
you didn't like Silk.
First of all, I want you to block AG out and put him on mute.
Right.
Put him on mute. That's egregious behavior. That's borderline felonious.
I'm sorry. My bad.
That's terrible. So I always gravitated more towards Cash Money between the two, but I never considered them probably elite until probably about 99, which was like literally towards the end when I was like realizing it's like, because I was a big fan of BG's album. Chopper City in the Ghetto was my shit. I used to like that more than I used to like 400 Degrees. 400 Degrees took a little bit longer for me to understand and to grow on me culturally. Because to me, BG was the more traditional spitter between him and Juvenile.
Yep.
So I gravitated to BG more actually around those times and enjoyed his project more. And I never forget, my guy Vidal, rest in peace to Vidal. He died 2 summers ago.
Mm-hmm.
With the high school. This is one of my OGs. You know what I'm saying? I remember being at West Charlotte when he came out the hallway, the breezeway of the main hallway, and he was just bobbing. And he never, like, he's always bobbing, but I mean, his neck was breaking when he was bobbing. I'm like, the fuck are you listening to?
Yeah.
He's like, that Ha by Juvenile. I'm like, you're bugging. I was like, that song ain't like that. He's like, yes, it is. He said, this is a fucking classic. You're tripping.
Yeah.
You're tripping. You know what I'm saying?
He was right.
He was right. I was tripping.
He was right.
But I also came around, and Cash Money had the MC's MCing me is just like, well, even when before Wayne was Wayne, you heard that he had something, you just didn't know what it was going to become. Juvenile and BG could rap their ass off.
Yeah.
So,
They can't. Yeah. That was silly. That's why I was laughing, because silly me, I didn't care. I was like, yo, that ain't Nas, that ain't Mobb Deep. Queens get the money. I don't want to listen to anything. My goofy ass had an opportunity to be in VIP session, relaxing with and chilling with M8 Ball and MJG, and not at the height of their career in 2000. I said, nah, I'm good. Y'all go ahead. I'm good.
So between your comment and AG's comment about Suck the Shocker, I'm just going to ask you guys to leave the show for the rest.
I'm just saying, cool. I'm taking over. All my homies went. I was like, I'm good. I'll stay back to barracks. I'm not going there.
but you know, you was in the military, and that's why I loved about college so much. It's like a melting pot, and you get people from all walks of life. Like I was late to the high craze. I was like, this is terrible. But then you go out to some spots, some clubs or whatever, and you hang with some cats from down south, and then you see how, you know, the vibration is when that song come on, man. It's a different vibe, man. And it's like
watching girls dance to Back That Ass Up freshman year of college, because that's when it came out for me. It changed my life.
That's what I'm saying, man. So it pays to be around people that can put you up on stuff that you ain't usually vibing with.
Right. Watching aunties in 2024 dancing to Back That Ass Up could change your life.
They were dancing to it. They were dancing to it in Greensboro, North Carolina. Right. We come through for homecoming. That's what I'm telling you. It's every other city we go.
Yeah, and they've mastered it now.
Yeah.
No matter where I go or what year we go to.
Yeah, it's universal. Universal.
Universal
So
law.
exactly. So again, shout out to Essence Festival crew. Thank you guys for the nod. Appreciate the info. Shout out to BG. Shout out to Turk, Juvie, Wayne, Baby, Manny. Shout out to the entire Hot Boys. Shout out to all the New Orleans. We appreciate the love and thank you for the plug as well. We appreciate the love.
And what
Stay
the
on
federal,
for the show.
what the federal government is doing to BG is still ridiculous.
It's atrocious. Atrocious. Yes, gotta do better. So cool. It's time to give you the ISO, man. Not like us video. You got to put a bow on it, man. You got to put a bow on it. So the floor is yours, man.
The video is brilliant. The video is brilliant, guys. It's I don't think it's one of his 10 songs.
I'm proud of you, Coop. I'm proud of you.
I'm gonna be fair. There's no denying that, look here. There's no denying that record. There's really not. But the way that he was able to actually put the record together and finish the job, like with the visual aid for it, it's very well thought out, very well executed. I don't know if it's one of his 10 best songs, because I don't think it's that. But after putting it with the video, I was like, no, you can say this is one of his 20 best songs.
20, yes. 10, I wouldn't go that far. But 20,
yeah.
definitely.
10, I don't think so either. But the fact that he made his only top 20 song that I've heard in recent memory, I'll just be kind and call it recent memory. But no, this is one of his 20 best songs. And it's definitely the best song that he's made this era. And the fact that he was able to encapsulate it into a video, like I dug the song more after listening to the video. That's how I know the video is strong. You know? And so the imagery that he uses, and you want to know what I really like about it? He's being cool in the video about the shit he's talking the way he's being cool on record. He's not overstating the process. He's not overstating himself. 85% of communication is nonverbal. His nonverbal on here is stellar.
Because he's like, this is light work. This is light work.
Thank you, AG. He is coming off in this video like, yeah, I wasn't even really worried about you. And when you see the way he's behaving in the video and he says that this was God's plan to reveal this, it's hard not to believe him, even if I don't agree with him. You get what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I've never been a non-believer of him. I've said many times that he's the best MC of this generation. He has the best catalog in this generation as far as the high-end rap guys go. You know what I'm saying? They get considered in the conversation, but the video is stellar. There's literally not anything that I can necessarily critique, even the timing of it. And I'm gonna tell you the best part of the video. The best part of the video to me is actually the end, where he puts the owl in his cage.
Yeah.
I was just like, I saw Finish Him by Mortal Kombat come over the screen in my mind when I saw that. I was like, but he did it his way. He did it subtly. Like he's not an Ice Cube, so this record isn't No Vaseline. And I don't mean No Vaseline in terms of it's not as great as No Vaseline, even though I find No Vaseline to be the superior diss record. What I'm saying is that instead of trying to channel somebody else's battle rap energy, he did battle rhyme and win his way. There is something to be said for that.
Absolutely.
He didn't go jump off into somebody else's bag to win this battle. He got on some West Coast like Triple OG, Deuce Deuce Ray Ray, Potato Over the Gun, like type ad. You know what I'm saying? Like he did all of that and he culminated with the video. So like excellent job. The intro to the song made me feel like we have a very West Coast album coming, which is the album I've actually been asking him to make for the better part of the last 10 years. I'm like, can you make like some West Coast shit I want to hear? Seeing how you're the West Coast best artist. That's what I mean when it's like what my expectations are and people think I don't like him. It's like, no, it's like, but as a fan, I do want to hear like certain shit from him that I only feel like we got in brevity. You know, like we didn't get a lot of like funky ass West Coast shit like this from him. We didn't. Don't make it seem like we did. Like go listen to Pimp a Butterfly and listen to Damn and tell me where you think he's from, because you're not just gonna come out and say Compton if he don't say Compton. Like, don't lie to yourself and tell me that.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? If you were to just go listen to Pimp a Butterfly and Damn, and he never uttered anything about Compton on those albums, you would not know that he's from Compton.
Mm-hmm.
And so this song is kind of him executing the stuff that guys like me have been asked for. It's like, yeah. You wanna teach the children, raise the babies, enlighten this culture. That's fine. You want to spew religious views that I don't agree with because you don't have any foundational premise. No, that's fine. You want to make hit records. That's fine. You want to win a battle with Drake. That's fine. Can you just give me some West Coast shit? Can I get Money Trees Part 2?
Love Money
that's
Trees.
cool.
I love Money Trees.
You know what I'm saying? Like, can you give me that? Can you give me that? Can you give me Real Part 2? Like, can you give me can you give me like my funky West Coast shit that I was expecting from you for the last 10 years? The intro to the song did seem like there was some of that in there. I did find myself just when it came on, I was like, oh shit. It's like, oh shit. I'm a little afraid of my take now. Still gonna stick to my take. Definitely was afraid for the first time after hearing that record. So, job well done. I don't have anything really negative to say.
I'm proud of Coop, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud.
I am too. This is a maturation.
It was great. Like you can't deny greatness. It's like when somebody go like 6 for 6 in the first half from 3, like 92 finals MJ style, it's like, no, he just went 6 for 6.
Yeah. What can you say about it? You can't hate on it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the video myself. I don't look at the video as a quote unquote diss video. I look at it as a victory lap. It's Kendrick saying, I buried this guy. I won the battle. Now I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to have fun on it. I'm going to bring out certain things, symbolisms. I'm going to put some messages in this video to put a nail in the coffin. Having an owl in the cage at the end, having the Drake, I guess, lookalike kind of coming behind him, and then
Dark Lane demo Drake.
Yeah, it snatched out the at the scene. I thought, to me, that was the best scene. That was the brilliant part of it, in my opinion.
Can I give you just one caveat though?
Yeah.
And this isn't really a criticism. It did take a long time to come up with this video. It did take a long time to conceptualize. And so when I talk about being worried about his album still, that's the stuff that makes me worried. It's like, no, this is a move fast culture now. Like, that record's good enough because of the Drake beef and the battle and everything that's unfolded that you can wait to make that and it's still going to pop. Your album's not going to be afforded that same attention. Like, as in, you can't release a record that's great on your album and then wait like 2 months to drop a video. You can't do that. You can't do that in today's climate. Is that a fair assessment? That's not me hating, is it? That's like a fair assessment about how the climate works, right?
No. In today's climate, yes, but we're from an era where that method used to work. You know, because a single would get worked for like 6 months. You know what I'm saying?
I'm about to say it don't work the single. What I'm saying is now the single needs to come with the visual aid immediately, not 2 months after we've been hearing the song. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It don't work like that anymore.
Okay. Can I give a quick rundown of some few things from the video?
Yeah.
One thing I will say, Kendrick is always dope with the visuals. Like, so him and PG Lang and what they're doing over there, you know, even if you don't like the songs that he's been coming out with in recent times, the visuals are always pretty dope. Pretty dope. I will say that. Like Coop alluded to, the jump off song that's previewed before Not Like Us, it also sounds like a mustard beat. You know what I mean? That funky West Coast, rhythm. I'm hoping it's indication of a new album to come in the vibe that he's on, because I would venture and say that we might not be getting this vibe from Kendrick if this beef didn't happen. He would be in his conceptual bag.
Hold on, AG. How come it's okay for you to say that, but when I say that, I'm a hater?
Because
I'm just asking questions. When I'm like, yo, it's like,
it's the truth.
I've literally been coming up here for months and saying if he wasn't going at Drake, he wouldn't be rapping like this. And they're like, you're just a fucking hater.
It's your delivery. It's your delivery, man.
No. My delivery on the mic is Biggie like. I don't want to hear shit about my delivery. Check out this bizarre. No.
But here's the thing. He always kind of doubles back after a conceptual piece of work. I think the conceptual albums are the albums that he wants to make. Like, if you look at To Pimp a Butterfly, after To Pimp a Butterfly, a lot of people wasn't jacking it at first, and then he doubled back and then came out with Damn. And it's the same thing with Mr. Morale. I really do believe Mr. Morale was the album that he wanted to make. That's the space he was in his life. So then I feel like he's going to double back now and give that West Coast type album that people want. You know what I mean? So,
okay. AG. This is what I'm talking about. I know he wanted to make Mr. Morale.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's good. You know, I get what you're saying.
No, he wanted to make a To Pimp a Butterfly. You want to know why To Pimp a Butterfly is good? He's in his prime. He's at his peak. That's why when I'm asking questions because I know he wanted to make Mr. Morale as a message and an edict and a mission statement to the people, the same way To Pimp a Butterfly is. It's just literally 10 years later and not anywhere nearly as good.
Well, I'm not a fan of To Pimp a Butterfly that much either, but Damn is his second best to me. But I digress.
I think that's
but to lead off with that first track, that was pretty dope. And then the knock on the door, you know, if you've been on Twitter, it's been a lot of deep dives and Easter eggs. You know, that comes from the dun 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 dun. It has like ties to a little riff from a song. It's called Shave and a Haircut, 2 Bits. It's a riff from Charles Hale's 1899 minstrel song. It's called At a Dark Town Cakewalk. And then the reference to the cakewalk, you know, we associate, it's a double meaning, associate cakewalk with, you know, no contest, light work, easy, you know, cakewalk as far as this battle. But the Dark Town was a African-American town in ATL that related to the slaves. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a little bit of stuff that's in my notes. And that connects to Kendrick's last verse where he's calling Drake the colonizer, pulling stuff from all the ATL artists. So, you know, that connection, and I do believe it was intentional, was a relation to slavery. You know what I mean? And the cakewalk itself was something that the slaves used to do, you know, kind of as like a minstrel dance show, because the reward they would get would be cake, but they would kind of mock and kind of impersonate their, you know, enslaved the masters that were enslaving them. So it was a contest where they basically would get to dance and do these things, and the winner would get cake. So I think a lot of that stuff, you know, with Kendrick's visual aid, the stuff that he's doing is making people do these little deep dives. I see, you know, these think pieces, but it's very intentional. Like the hopscotch right at the moment where he says A minor, that was diabolical. Like, that was crazy. Like, to even do that.
See, those where did AG go?
You know, somebody said the push-ups, this may be a reach, but he does 17 and a half, doesn't go over 17 and a half push-ups before he comes up in relation to the age.
Okay. See, AG, like, that's the stuff where it's like, no, it's too much. A win is a win. That's where people like feel like are digging too deep.
Well,
like,
he's a cerebral guy. I mean, this is called what it is.
He's a cerebral guy, but don't intellect the fun out of you crip walking on this nigga.
Yeah, and to see Whitney crip walking, that was dope. You know, the family in there.
That was the second best part of the video to me, was when they was all like all.
Which, you know, I'll come back to that, but that was a dope joint, because I got a question for y'all about that. But the last part of the video that Coop talked about, that owl in the cage, it's something simple, right? But the way they shot it visually, it shows it from the owl's perspective first, and then the owl, like, you don't see the bars. So I'm taking that like the owl doesn't even know it's like trapped and done for. You know what I'm saying? But then when it flips to Kendrick's perspective, you see, you know, he's caged, and Kendrick got his hands behind his back, like, yo, you ain't even a threat. You know what I'm saying? The posture is saying, yo, you ain't even a threat. You in the cage, you done. You know what I mean? So I just thought visually, you know, it was a stunning video. But one of my homies, there goes the graphic. One of my homies from Greensboro hit me up the other day, and he's a big time Drake fan. And he was telling me, he said, man, it's like, it's not balanced how the way the fans' perceptions are. Like, and we've been saying this from day one, right? But he asked me, he was like, how come is it that when Pusha T dissed Drake, and, you know, people was like, man, he killed Drake to the point where Drake had to be a good, responsible father and, you know, brought his kid, you see him with his kid all the time. But when Drake does it to Kendrick and says on Family Matters, how come you never hold your son and tell him say cheese? And then on the Heart Part 6, he says, you ain't seen your kids in 6 months. The distance is wild. But now we see a full family shot in this video of Kendrick, Whitney, and the kids. And then the response seems to be in the perception like, see, I told you it wasn't no family problems. Like, you know, everything is good in their household and this and that versus, oh, Drake called him out. So now Kendrick is being the good, responsible father. You know what I mean? And what is y'all's answer to that? Because I thought it was some validity to what he was pointing out, but it was dope to see Whitney in there, but I think it was some validity to what he was saying.
AG, this is wild. I've been saying this shit to you on the show. You had to get a call from your mans to realize that. I've been saying this stuff.
No,
there are literally episodes.
It's the tone. It's the tone,
no,
Coop. It's
there
the tone.
have literally been episodes of this show. There've been episodes of this show where you've been sitting in the space that you're in. I'm sitting in the space that I'm in. I am telling you this shit.
I've said it too. But the family thing, I never made that connection until he said it. Because
just the whole allegations, it's like, okay, so I'm not even going to go there because I gave the video props, so I'm not going to like do.
He said he wouldn't go. I couldn't trigger him, Sean. We can move on.
No, I think he needs to be triggered. That's what the people came to see. I only got one critique.
What's your critique?
This is what I'm saying. It's almost like why are the rules so? Let's start asking different questions. Why are the rules so different for him?
That's why I told y'all like 15 episodes ago that he would probably lose because he was the underdog, even though Drake was the bigger artist. No, Drake was the underdog. Drake was the underdog. That's what I said.
But why are the rules different for Kendrick than any other MC?
I think. Well, this is what one of my homies.
Different. Just tell me why the rules are different.
This is what homie said to me, and I felt what he was saying. He said that everybody in the video, and granted, he brought the West together, you know what I mean? And that's Drake's fault because he said West Coast niggas do fades, right? Like, I mean, he called out the West multiple times. Now everybody's galvanized behind Kendrick to get him out of here. But the thing is, he said, you see all them people in the video? He said all those people probably identify with the type of cat Drake is instead of the type of cat Kendrick is. And they up here, dancing against Drake or whatever. But that's what Drake was saying in a lot of his diss records, trying to point that out. But, like I said from the jump, the people hold Kendrick higher in a moral standard. He is Mr. Morale. So they're going to get behind, that movement versus a Drake. Even though they act like Drake behind the scenes, they want to aspire to think that they like Kendrick.
Hey, look here. Let me tell you what. All these people saying this. If Drake pulls up in town versus if Kendrick pulls up in town, you feel what I'm saying?
I feel like both of them will get love. And I mentioned my homie, shout out to Mike, Greensboro, man. He died on the hill with Coop.
I'm not talking about love. I'm talking about response. Give a damn about love.
Yeah.
I'm talking about response and turnout. Like, don't tell me that Drake hitting your city and Kendrick hitting your city is the same thing.
No, it's different. It's different.
So when we're looking at all the attention that's being galvanized behind this, when I'm like, well, okay, so how about this? Why are all of these videos and all these songs Kendrick's highest rated viewed songs and videos? Why? What's different? If he's the king, if he is who everybody else says that he is.
My son said this last night. He was like, yo, it's just because he talk about Drake.
Thank you. So what does that say? That's like, how about this? When LeBron James talks about his place in the greatest of all time, part of what sparks that conversation isn't just because it's LeBron. It's because it incites thoughts of Michael Jordan in people's minds.
Mm-hmm.
As in, like, you're the biggest attraction of this era, but when you talk like this, it incites the biggest attraction of them all. Whether you like it, love it, hate it, indifferent, don't care, dance along with it, sing with it, rap with it, however you feel about his bars, he is arguably the biggest attraction this game has ever seen.
Let me ask you this, Coop. Me and my son had this conversation last night. If Not Like Us wasn't about Drake, but same vibe, same aesthetic, different lyrics, do you think it's a hit and it's out of here?
It wouldn't even have 5 million views though.
No, I wouldn't have that many, but I think it's a hit. Like just sonically, as soon as you hear it,
Yeah,
it activates you. You know what I'm saying?
it's
And
better.
it's that West Coast aesthetic. And
It's better than Humble. It's better than I and Blacker the Berry. Like, yeah, it's better than those records. So on the fundamental level of it being one of his best songs and being a hit, yes, if I heard it and it didn't involve Drake, I would still think I was like, Dot came with a banger. But
here's why it works though, because it's an anomaly.
Hold on, AG, let me finish.
Mm-hmm.
But it wouldn't be this. That's my whole point about all of this. It's like all of this is predicated off the other guy's stardom.
Right.
You understand? It's not like a 50-50 split. It's not like some sort of hot contestedly like debated type of thing. It's like the metrics literally say the other guy moves the meter, literally like nobody outside of Eminem moves the meter.
Right. But here's the thing though. I think it's an anomaly in the sense that like Pusha T didn't make a record like this, and you could argue that Pusha T dismantled Drake, worse. You can make that argument. Most diss tracks are scathing by nature and are not hit records. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I've only known of 3 diss tracks to be hit records that you hear on radio, club, in any type of setting, and that's Not Like Us, Back to Back, and Hit 'Em Up. So it's not part of the norm. So I think why this record works so well, it's not the best diss track of all time. I wouldn't even put it top 5. But if you're just talking about an overall record, then it's set apart with those other 2 records.
No, AG.
Fellas, let's not get too much off. We talked about the song.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Like, listen to what I'm saying. When you're talking about Hit 'Em Up from Pac,
different ways. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about the video a little bit.
No. Hold on. Listen to what I'm saying. When you're talking about Hit 'Em Up from Pac, no, Pac was a bigger star than Big when that happened.
Oh, absolutely.
The traction. So AG, part of the traction, the main reason for that traction wasn't Big. It was Pac. When Drake dissed Meek, the main reason for the traction was Drake, not Meek.
He's the bigger artist. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
This is happening in the inverse.
Correct. Yeah.
So it's not the same thing. That's why I keep saying it's not like that. It's Not Like Us is great, but it's not like that. You're not the guy with the traction. You're the guy that's capitalizing off of the traction. And here's the thing, even with the Pusha T records, AG, and this is what I'm trying to say, like, there's different ways to beat a man. Like sometimes you might have to beat somebody in a 12-round brawl and it be a decision. Sometimes you might knock a nigga out in the 3rd round. Sometimes
one hit a quitter.
7th round. Joe Frazier really only lost to 2 people his whole career. He lost to Ali twice. He lost to Foreman twice. But they beat him 2 totally different ways. See, everything that was tight about Joe Frazier's game wasn't a fit for George Foreman because George Foreman did everything Frazier did. He was just bigger and stronger. His fights with Foreman and Ali are different, but he still lost the 2 against Foreman out of 2, and he still lost 2 of 3 to Ali. But it's the style of the fights and the manner that he lost. He lost 5 fights, but he really only the last loss was he was past his prime. But in his prime, he only lost, but he lost differently. This is different.
But this is the only time Drake's ran into somebody in his same weight class too, so that makes the difference.
He's not in his weight class. Go look at the metrics and the numbers. The only person in Drake's weight class is Eminem and Jay-Z.
Not even Jay-Z. Like Kendrick got more active listeners right now in today's climate than Jay does.
I don't believe that.
The numbers is on the streaming services, bro. Kendrick got double the listeners.
Those numbers weren't like that until this. The only thing that he had that streamed like that
he still have more than Jay, not double, but he still have more than Jay.
Hold on, listen to what I'm saying. The only thing that he has that streams in the consciousness of the people and streams numbers wise, the way Jay did on both sides, is Good Kid, Mad City prior to this battle. So no, it's not the same thing. These numbers that we're looking at, these numbers are new based on the Drake battle. Ain't nobody To Pimp a Butterfly don't got no fucking crazy ass amount of streams, and neither does Damn. Good Kid, Mad City does. Want to know why?
Nah, you missing the point, Coop. As far as star quality, it's not another person in the game
I'm not missing the point.
that's
You're
close
missing
to
the point.
that's close to Drake is
So,
Kendrick. Kendrick is next in star quality.
No, you're not.
Let's
You're
move
missing the
on from
point.
this.
Part of Kendrick's problem is that he doesn't have Drake star quality. It's not the same level of the same thing.
Who's the closest if not Kendrick then? If
In
you're
terms of
telling me it's not Kendrick, then who would it be?
If we're talking star quality, it's Future.
Kendrick.
Right.
Future's up there, but
Right.
he's not Kendrick level.
Numbers say different though, fam.
Future called in the reinforcement, say, "Yo, Kendrick, get on this track to flame Drake." He's the one he's the one that called on Buddy to jump this off.
Let's not
Future said, "I need you."
Yo,
Let me ask you something. Let me ask you
move
something.
on.
Let me
Let's
ask you
move
something.
on.
Let me ask you something. No, hold on. AG, let me ask you something.
Mhm.
Do you really want to pull up Future's biggest streaming records versus Kendrick's without these diss songs being involved? You don't want to play that game, so you don't get to sit up here and say that. The numbers literally say
Pull the numbers, Coop. Like you act like I'm ducking the smoke.
Future has a longer list of hits that have streamed at a higher level than these songs that you're talking about that don't involve this battle. This is the first time
It's close. It's close.
It's not. This is the first time Kendrick has streamed like this outside of Good Kid, Mad City. That's why I always bring up Good Kid, Mad City. It's his
it's his biggest album. Coop. What are you talking about? You up here capping, bro?
Streams, Good Kid, Mad City stayed on the charts longer than Damn did. So how can you say that?
Pull the numbers, Coop. Pull the numbers.
Why don't you pull the numbers?
Put them in the group chat.
No. You pull the numbers. I'm telling you.
Pull
Go look at how
numbers.
long Good Kid. No, go Google
Name
right
5.
now how long Good Kid, Mad City was on the chat. Like, yeah, you laughing, but you don't have no facts to back your shit up.
You gotta move on.
You talking about the numbers? I want to see the numbers. Why I gotta do homework and pull numbers that you pulling out your ass? You pull.
I'm pulling numbers out my ass. Where are your facts coming from?
I didn't say
Where are your
listen.
facts coming from?
I saw on Spotify. Future is up there. Future is up there. He is up there.
No. You said Damn's his biggest streaming album. Where are your numbers at? Tell me the numbers since you know him so well.
Somebody
I don't know off the top of my head. Damn is his biggest streaming album.
No. You're no different than me right now.
Damn went more times platinum than Good Kid, Mad City. Yes, it did.
Yeah, but Good Kid, Mad City is streamed more. We're in the streaming era. You're talking about platinum. I'm talking
numbers is numbers. Like they add up towards the millions, do they not?
No, they don't. We've actually literally had talks about streaming farms on here and how they don't add up to the numbers. That's why the shit you're saying doesn't make any sense.
It's either certified platinum or it's not.
Add up, yes or no? Have we talked about how it doesn't add up, yes or no?
It's either certified or it's not.
That's not what I'm talking about. Have we not had conversations about if it adds up or not, and we've all come to the agreement that it doesn't add up properly, yes or no?
What is his highest selling album? What's his highest selling album, Coop?
I could go pull clips from our show where you agreed to that. So
what's his highest selling album? Coop?
No. I said most traction has in most streams. That's why I said Good Kid, Mad City is streamed more than Damn. I didn't.
What's his highest selling album, Coop?
I don't know. You tell me.
It's Damn, but you not answer the question because you know what the answer is.
What's his most streamed album? What's his most streamed album? Good Kid, Mad City.
I don't believe that either. I can't say that to be fact. I don't
believe what you're saying either. You don't have any more facts to back up your shit than I do. You're just talking out your ass too.
But you making up facts. You pulled them out of thin air. I didn't say that.
Where are your facts? I know for a fact Good Kid, Mad City was on the charts for a longer period of time, and I can prove it. And I can prove that it streamed more than Damn. What is the difference?
And Damn was more in the streaming era than Good Kid, Mad City was. Good Kid, Mad City was with more physicals was circulating, was it not?
It's still a stream more because it's existed longer. You're missing the point.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so hey, great conversation, guys. Let's go
no,
to
no. You're not about to sit up there and pull my card when you don't have no fucking numbers.
Hey, somebody in the chat, Google it and put it in the chat. Put it in the chat for Coop.
Ask him how long Good Kid, Mad City was on the charts.
You ain't even got a super chat. You can just put it in the chat regular.
Yeah, I'm not even watching the show, so please put it up so somebody can teach AG since he apparently puts numbers up on the boards, but tells me I'm talking out my ass. Yo, imaginary ass numbers.
Let's get the super chat.
Yeah.
You ain't got no facts. You ain't got no facts. You don't have any more facts than me to be talking the shit that you talk about.
You just pulled them out of nowhere. I'm going off what I seen on Spotify.
It's been Good Kid, Mad City has been on Billboard charts longer than Damn. That's not me pulling that out.
But your original argument was that Future is a bigger artist than Kendrick. Did you not say that?
In terms of streaming numbers, yes. Like I
the
said,
streaming
if you
apps
take,
would tell you
like I
otherwise.
said, if you take Kendrick's diss tracks out of play, Future is the better streamer.
Well, you're speaking in semantics because we could take shit or add shit. It's gonna be. It is what it
My
is.
whole
Like
point
you
in
speaking
saying
in
that, my whole
semantics.
point in saying that, AG, since you're missing the point, if Future's the bigger streamer prior to Kendrick talking about Drake, what's causing the increase in
But
Kendrick's
guess
streams?
what's added to
Drake.
Future? Guess what's added to Future streams, Coop? A Kendrick Lamar feature that jumped off this whole beef, Coop. Like
But what I'm saying is
it
that
helps
Future
him
did
out,
numbers,
Coop.
but Future was doing these numbers long before that happened, is my point.
Okay.
Long before this happened.
Okay,
No,
it
long
says
before this
damn.
happened,
It
Future
says
was doing
hold
those
on.
numbers. Kendrick
Damn is
wasn't.
12
That's
million
just a
more
fact.
streamed than Good Kid, Mad City. I don't want no trouble with the $2 super chat. Thank you for the fact check. Appreciate it.
12 million more streams.
That's what he
I don't
said.
believe that. I'm going to go do my own research. You can't trust
Do your own research. You could do your own research and still be wrong.
That's cool.
AG, get the super chat, please.
Yo, Brandon Rogers, shout out to you with the $5 super chat. Coop, what's your thoughts on the snippet song at the beginning of the video? And Sean, how long were you stationed at Camp Lejeune? I was at Bragg in April of 07.
I think
Sean, you go first.
Yeah, I was in Lejeune in 98 to like 2000, then again like in 2006 to 2008 or some shit like that. It kind of blurred. It's been a long time, bro. But thank you for your service, man. Thank you for your service.
I think the video, the intro to the video sounds really, really dope. It sounds like he's doing some really funky West Coast shit, which is kind of what I've been wanting to hear from him. I think a lot of his original core fan base that were around before he started dissing Drake. Like, this is...
And somebody put that in the chat if that's a Mustard beat. I don't know who did that beat of that song. If anybody knows, put that in the chat too.
I think
it sounds like Mustard.
Yep. Here's another one.
Stephanie Young with the $2 super chat. Appreciate you. What up? How's everything, guys?
Appreciate
we good, man. Tracy G with another $5 super chat. We appreciate you. Drake said happy co-parenting. That family scene looked like co-parenting pics. Always screaming, save me.
We got to get Tracy G on the show.
For sure. $2 super chat from Mill Magic. Appreciate you. There's people who don't like Dot but hate Drake. Yeah, a lot of those fans like got behind Kendrick in that they just wanted to see Drake out of here. Yep. Art by Nobody with the $5 super chat. Appreciate you. Kendrick is a moment rap. He arrives at the moment and then disappears. He ain't even touching Playboy or Travis Scott. Now Travis is one who I would argue is up there, like, you know, probably the next biggest artist of Drake. I forgot about Travis. Stephanie Young with the $2 super chat. Drake, Kanye, Travis, Future, and M has more than Dot. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's the last one. All right, can we move on, guys? Are y'all good?
Yeah, we good.
No, when you go to
Kendrick over there. I mean, not Kendrick. Scoop's over there on his Googles. He's typing frantically right now.
I am. And look what I just pulled up. You won't believe what I pulled up. Kendrick, are you done? Let me know when you're done. Let me go ahead. Let me go ahead and list out in order Kendrick Lamar's top streaming albums in order. It goes damn number one.
Say that again.
It goes damn number one. Are you gonna let me talk, or are you gonna keep talking when I'm talking? You done? Know what number 2 is?
Good Kid, Mad City.
You know what number 3 is?
The Pepper Butterfly.
Nope, it's Good Kid, Mad City again. You want to know number 4 is?
Oh, the deluxe edition. Okay, it got 2
number 4 is?
What?
Good Kid, Mad City. You know what number 5 is?
What kind of numbers is you looking at?
Because he released different versions of the album and they're going by different data over different courses of time.
I only thought it was 2 versions. I didn't know it was more than 2 versions.
No. I'm not talking about the versions. I'm talking about how it goes over different streaming charts in terms of like where it goes in terms of streams. Damn is the highest streaming overall. The next 5 in a row are Good Kid, Mad City. That's why I'm telling you it's stream more. They used to count streams differently over different courses of different eras, AG. So Damn only classifies for one streaming era. Good Kid, Mad City has been streamed 5 different ways because of how they've changed the numbers over a course of eras. So
but it's still 2 through 5. Ain't none of them number 1.
But if you add them up, they are. That's my whole point.
Let's move on.
No.
Coop can't be wrong. Coop can't be wrong. He add numbers.
Like AG, when they change the law, does that not change the way that the laws get made and the way things get
I
counted?
guess so. You changing it in real time now. Let's move on.
I'm telling you what it says right here. I'm literally looking at Damn at 1 with 8.5 million. Then it says Good Kid, Mad City 5.5. Then it has another Good Kid, Mad City at 5.4. Then it has another Good Kid, Mad City at 5.3. That's because when you change the way things get streamed, you have to document where it was when you stopped streaming it that way.
What was the damn number?
The damn number is 8.25.
Okay.
But Good Kid, Mad City has 3 different versions that have over 5 million because Good Kid, Mad City came out in 2012, and the streaming era.
Well, after you
are you gonna let me talk?
After you carry the one,
are you gonna let me talk? Yes or no? You gonna let me talk? Yes or no?
Hey, Sean Coop's doing Foxy Brown affirmative action math to prove his point.
You done?
I can't do this.
All I'm trying to explain to you, AG, is that there's not one streaming era. There's actually been multiple streaming eras, and it's counting different album views from different streaming eras. Good Kid, Mad City's been around longer, and so as far as this era, in terms of how they account for streams, Damn is the number one. But what I'm saying is they have Kendrick ranked based on streaming eras, and Good Kid, Mad City has survived about 3 to 4 to 5 editions of a streaming era for numbers that they don't count anymore. Thank you.
Okay. I got you.
Okay. Everybody, I'm so sorry for this take. We're definitely going to move on. I would do a better job by navigating the conversations. I'll take full ownership of this.
You ain't doing shit.
I'm embarrassed, and I will make sure we continue to move forward. So now, off to our next segment.
Divide the number by 4, subtracted by 8. Add the other 2 to make up for the 3.
Dude, relax. I just said.
I'm sorry.
Goodness gracious, man. Yo.
My bad.
Yeah,
what we got next?
We got the super chat.
Michael Williams with the $5 joint. Can you elaborate on why you rank It Was Written above Reasonable Doubt lyrically, besides storytelling, and what other aspects of lyricism does Nas exceed Jay?
Damn, Mike,
that's a loaded question, man.
That's a loaded question, man. Mike, we had to come back to that, bro. We appreciate
that's a loaded question.
To come back to that. That's loaded. That's
Jermaine L. Johnson with the $2 joint. Appreciate you, fellas. Thriller or Bad? That's easy. Thriller.
Bad.
But y'all are off the wall guys, are you not?
Oh yeah, off the wall.
I prefer Thriller to Off the Wall, but that's just me.
Thriller was a moment. Thriller was a moment. That's the last one.
All right.
Thriller was a moment.
What we got next?
You good, Coop?
Was he froze?
Coop, you froze? I don't know if Coop froze or not. Coop, you froze?
No, I'm just fucking with you.
Oh, he was froze.
I'm like, yo, man. Yo, I want to. Let's
keep on standby.
Yeah, let's keep the heat on Coop a little bit more because Elliot just released another list. I had someone who actually said they think that Elliot saw the last episode that we had on the top 10 albums so far for the year, and he actually constructed his own list. Would you guys care to see Elliot's 2024 so far for the year? And keep in mind, we just had a show where we talked about our top 10 2024 halfway point for the year. So Elliot decided to do one as well.
Objectively speaking, ours is better off rip.
Absolutely. But there's some of our DNA in his list as well. So I was able to pull it up. And here is Elliot.
What do you mean by that? Like you said he bet our list? Because I don't think it match up at all, really.
There's some DNA in there. There's some things on there that you can probably look at and be like, okay, I can see where he got that from, or I can see where some of this influence may come from, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
He
got that Mach-Homie at 10. I did go back and take a deep dive listening to that Mach-Homie, and that joint is dope. And that Master Ace is pretty dope too. You know what I'm saying? Where Coop recommended a listen to those. But I was really feeling the Mach-Homie a little bit more than the Master Ace stuff.
Okay. So this is his list. If you guys can see it. Mach-Homie at number 10. Flo Milli, number 9. Benny at 8. Rhapsody at 7. Bossman D-Lo at 6. A Boogie at 5. Gunna, 4, 21 Savage, 3, Future and Metro. He got them as a tie. So he was like, they're interchangeable. We don't trust you, or we still don't trust you, or interchangeable. So he has those at a tie at 1 and 2. So that is Elliot's list. Here is our list that we actually put together the week prior. We had Master Ace at 10, Dog Pound at 9, Mac Homie at 8, Future Metro at 7, Big Hit 6, Gunna 5, Schoolboy Q 4, The Game and Big Hit 3, I Am God 2, and Rhapsody 1. Talk to me, fellas. What y'all think about his list in comparison?
I don't see why he made We Don't Trust You and We Still Don't Trust You interchangeable at 1 and 2. I don't think the second one was like that, the We Still Don't Trust You.
Nah, it wasn't.
It wasn't even really a lot of hip hop, to be honest. It was, more in the R&B vibe, more in the Hendrix vibe, but everything else, I don't know, man. I mean, it's some joints that definitely need to be here, but I would disagree with the order.
What you think, Cool? It's so interesting list. It's a very interesting list.
He has 21 Savage at 3. When we did our top 20, I had 21 Savage as my last joint in my top 20. It didn't even make either one of y'all's, did it?
No, not mine.
So
It made the back of my list. Like,
oh,
literally.
okay. I thought that was a solid album, but it's definitely not number 3.
Yep.
So the stratosphere that Elliot exists in, and we'll talk about this when we get to Billboard as well. Well, you have to find the balance between maintaining your integrity and actually making the type of list that is going to garner traction and also make people gravitate.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm picking lists, I never thought I would say this. Well, Billboard actually put together a better list than Elliot did in terms of what they were setting out to do with their agenda.
Mm-hmm.
And so, although there are parts of this list where I agree with, like on my personal list, I had Benny the Butcher's Everybody Can't Go at like number 7 or number 8. I had Mock at number 2. I had Raps at number 1. So it's not like I'm not in agreement with some of the things that he is saying, but those. Okay, so when you're at the level that he's at and you're doing what he does, I've come to understand that you have to balance your integrity with making sure you hit your metrics and hit your numbers. And so, although a Rhapsody album, an album from I Am God, shout out to I Am God, an album from a Mock Homie, like might be better as far as fulfilling the appetite for you making a complex list in the top 5, for you garnering X amount of traction. Well, Future and Metro and 21, because that's just going to move the needle more. We Still Don't Trust You. It's not even a rap album. That's Toxic Singer Future. You know what I'm saying? That's alter ego Future. That's not like rapping ass mumble swag on the beat of Young Metro Don't Trust You, I'ma Shoot. That's not that guy. This is not even a rap album. But I do understand what he's trying to do. I feel like it has hits and it has misses. But I see him playing the balancing act, though. He's been stealing my shit for a long time. So it's like, I'm not surprised at the shit that feels like he stole it, because he does. And I'm very serious when I say this. Oh, no, this is part of how the game goes. Bigger artists steal from smaller artists all the time. Bigger media steals from smaller media all the time. It's about getting the scoop. That's the name of the game. So if he has to tap into a Hip Hop Talks or whoever to siphon some information to stay connected, it's like, no, I understand. I can't promise what I'm going to do if I meet him in person, but I understand.
Let me ask y'all this. The A Boogie placement. None of the 3 of us had that joint on our top 20 from what I remember, but that was a solid album that I totally forgot about.
Which one?
The A Boogie album.
So I have to tell you the truth. I listened to it about halfway through and then I never got back to it. So I need to listen again.
Yeah,
that's fair. I just totally disregarded and forgot about it. But I remember when it came out, I listened to it. It was a really solid project and I messed with it. But Yeah. Did you have the song list too, Sean, or just the albums that he did?
I had the albums and everything that he did. Like for Elliot, right?
Yeah, he had a
I
top
wrote the
10.
album.
He had a top 10 songs as well.
I didn't do the songs. I just did the album.
I got those here. If you want to run down those real quick.
I was trying to keep it within the vein of the
Oh, okay.
albums. We still had the
Okay.
Billboard thing. We want to kind of really
Got
deep
you.
dive into.
Got you.
His song selections was I couldn't even tell you much about it, to be quite honest. So I didn't want to go down that rabbit hole. But I just want to get you guys' take on the actual albums because again, he came off the heels of what we did about a week. Not saying he biting our shit. I'm not saying that, but it's just that
I'll say it for you. I'll say it for you. Don't worry. You don't have to worry about a thing. Never have a fear. Never have a fear. I'll say that shit, right?
So
right.
I was,
Right,
you know,
say it.
yeah, be looking trite about it. But
even if he didn't steal this shit, he's been stealing shit from me. All right, keep going. There we go.
Yo, let's get a couple of more super chats real quick. Deuce Falco, appreciate the show, fellas. Appreciate you, Deuce. Thank you for the $10 super chat. And Michael Williams trying to start a riot. What he's saying, AG, Michael Williams.
Michael Williams, appreciate you with the $5 super chat. He said, if Common's album is album of the year level, how far up does he move in your all-time rankings? Would you rank him over Ghostface?
Crazy.
Depends on how good the album is.
That's close. But yo, I know we're gonna get to this later, but I want to point out something, and I hate to sound like a hater on this, but
you're good at it. Keep it up.
I was just about to give you a compliment, dog, and then you go call me a hater.
Don't do that.
Coop pointed out something when we was talking about all-time rankings, and I believe he was talking about Common's discography, that hooks might be his Achilles heel.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm loving all these records that he got coming out. I know the album is going to be fire, but it's like hiding a player that's has deficiencies on defense, right? With defensive schemes. I think that Pete Rock with his beats and his scratch hooks and all that is doing a great job of, because all these singles, there hasn't been not one hook yet that I've heard, from Common. And then Coop, you pointed that out on B, like it's Kanye on, multiple hooks. And then it's, you got Bilal on there. So, I didn't really even pay attention to that. So if that's something that's not noticeable, then they're doing a good job hiding it. So that's one prerequisite I'm gonna look for going into the album. Like, y'all want to hear what Common has to offer on the hook side of things. I was pointing out, that Coop made that observation astutely, even though he called me a hater, but I was giving him a compliment. There you go, Coop.
I call it like I see it, but I appreciate the compliment. Okay, so first of all, where do we all respectively have Common on our list?
Top 15, no
easy.
Lower than that.
That should be easy. That should be easy for
me.
I got a top 15.
So let's say this album isn't just album of the year, but it's a classic.
Mm-hmm.
It's looking that way.
Yeah, shaping up.
Do you think Like Water for Chocolate is a classic?
Yes.
Do you think B is a classic?
Absolutely.
Yes.
If this album is a classic, how many guys are walking around with 3 like bona fide classics? Not we having conversations. It's like, no. We know they got 3 classic albums. Now we know he already has 2, right?
Well, to the question's point, do you consider, notwithstanding this album, do you think Common's discography is better than Ghost's solo discography? I think it's really close.
I think it's close. I would give Ghost the nod because I think Supreme Clientele is better than B, and I think Iron Man's better than Like Water for Chocolate.
They're close, very close.
But it's very close. But
it's very close.
Photo finish close.
But I feel like Ghost's third classic is a borderline classic depending on who you ask, because I actually think Fish Scale's his third base album. A lot of people feel like it's Bulletproof Wallets. And so what I'm saying is that if Common makes a third album, like how about this? If this album is better than Finding Forever and One Day It'll All Make Sense, that changes everything. Like that there are some slots to be had, because when I have Ghost like objectively like around 8, 9, or 10. And I can't tell you that after, if this album is a classic, that I can't tell you that it'd be very close. I could see them standing right next to each other on my list. But my question is this album good enough to put Common firmly in the top 10?
That's viable. But you walked me into a good question, Coop, for either one of y'all. So what holds more weight? If you got 3 undeniable bona fide classics, or like you said, Coop, if you got 2 bona fide classics, but the third, you may have 3 or 4 albums that's a possible in contention for that third. Like, you know what I mean? So you got some like about 3 or 4.5 floating around. So which holds more weight? 3 certified or 2 in a possible when it's like 3 or 4 possibles?
See, that's okay. So this is where I'm going to tell you, it's like, oh no, Common's sitting over there with some possibles too. That's what makes this so fascinating.
That's fair. Yeah.
Because he's got Resurrection, One Day It'll All Make Sense,
Right.
and Finding Forever. Those are 3 possibles. If this album's a classic, you're giving him 3 classics and 3 possibles. How many guys are walking around with 3 classics and 3 possibles or borderlines? Because I'll tell you what, Ghost don't have that.
Are we calling Water for Chocolate a bona fide classic? Are we saying that's a bona fide classic?
Ghost just has the edge. Like, if you include the Woo stuff, you have to give Ghost the edge in that case.
No, but that's what I'm saying. If I have Ghost at 8 or 9, it's like, no, I can see after this album putting Common right next to him, as in it's like, okay, that's like, you got Ice Cube ahead of Ghost?
Yes.
You don't, Sean.
I don't. But that's me being biased. I don't.
So, but think about this. He's got Straight Outta Compton. He's got Easy Does It as a writer.
Yeah.
He's got America's Most, Death Certificate, Predator, Lethal Injection.
I would throw Lethal Injection in there. That's kind of
Lethal Injection is still strong.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
Kill It Will might be my favorite EP of all time.
I'm not calling it a classic. I'm just saying let's just do a catalog rundown.
Gotcha.
Kill It Will EP.
That's my favorite EP of all time.
It might be the best EP of all time. That's arguable. That and Bones Creeping on a Come Up, or
there you go.
The best EPs I've ever heard. And then you have the West Side Connection album, and then you have War and Peace Volume 1.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with you.
So I have Ice Cube ahead of Ghostface and Common, because when I look at all of those projects, I'm like, nah. Even though I think Supreme Clientele is just as good as Death Certificate, I would probably have them both in my top 20 right next to each other, like 15, 16, or 16, 17. So I can see that. But when I put in Straight Outta Compton, West Side Connection, Kill at Will, The Predator, it's like America's Most. It's like, ooh, I don't know. But what I'm saying is that Common puts himself in an Ice Cube, Scarface, Ghostface conversation if this album is what everybody's saying that it is. And I think that's big.
Absolutely. And did you name, because like I said with the Ghost thing, and we're going off on a tangent, but this is a dope conversation, but the Ghost stuff, you're not really including, like, you know, the 36 Chambers and the Forever, but did you say Straight Outta Compton because he's one of the main writers on every, you know, for the other members of the group?
That's what I'm saying, is it's like, well, Straight Outta Compton is just as important as Enter the Wu-Tang, and Cube actually has a bigger stake in Straight Outta Compton than Ghost has in Enter the Wu-Tang.
Right, correct. Yeah, his pen is on there more. Yeah, so
and his pen is better. It's not on there more. It's better too. Ice Cube on Straight Outta Compton's a better rapper than Ghostface is on.
You are correct.
That's fair.
That's fair.
And did he write Boys in the Hood for Eazy-E?
That's fair. But Dennis Cole also executive produced Into the Wu-Tang Forever.
I mean, okay, so Wu-Tang Forever.
So you pulling in other stuff?
No. Okay, let's look at Wu-Tang Forever. Hold on, Wu-Tang Forever and Ghost's catalog would be like West Side Connection album and Cube's catalog.
Oh no! We can't do that. We can't do that.
West Side Connection album is great.
It's great. I love that album, but it's not Wu-Tang Forever.
Hold on. First of all, the West Side Connection album plays in the end better than Wu-Tang Forever does. You will listen to West Side Connection from beginning to end easier than you listen to Wu-Tang Forever end to end.
It's an easier listen, but I wouldn't say it's better.
Okay, even hold on. This is what I'm saying. If if you can put on West Side Connection's album and play it all the way through more than you can play disc 1 or disc 2 of Wu-Tang Forever all the way through, that is saying something. That is saying something. And what I'm saying is Wu-Tang Forever might be the better album, but that just makes it a draw in terms of the group work. Like
So
at best. And America's Most and Death Certificate, oh no, that lines right up with Iron Man and Supreme.
I think that's a good.
Except for he has Kill at Will and he has Lethal Injection and
He has a lot. He has a lot. I think that's a good segue to the album, Sean.
So
he has it in a 10-year period too. Like we can't understate that. He did all of this in 10 years. He did this from 88 to 98.
Yep.
And he made Friday and made movies in between. Like, just if we're talking about degree of difficulty, it's not like he was just rapping.
He don't wear wallabies.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, Sean, I think that's a good.
You want to know what? You said that with such a straight face. I want to go to the next topic.
Yeah, that's a segue into the Billboard albums, bro.
I'm out. Like,
real talk. I would love to battle y'all with Ghostface and Common and Ice Cube.
So let's say this.
I'll throw it out there.
Hold on, just real quick before we get off the Common thing, because I think this album is a I've been saying this. I said every time I hear a record from this album, I'm like, sounds like the album of the year. Every record I've heard has made me feel like it's the album of the year. So when people walk around, man, this is the album of the year. It's like, well, yeah, I kind of said that when I heard the first song.
Do y'all like the approach of releasing so many songs ahead of it? You know what I mean? Because it might take away from the.
He did this with B a little bit. It feels B-like to me. Like this Pete Rock pairing feels very much like the initial pairing with Common. I mean, with Kanye. So I'm not expecting B. But would I be surprised if this album was better than Finding Forever and comparable to like Water for Chocolate? That changes his narrative because it sounds like it. When I hear these tracks, I hear something comparable to like Water for Chocolate. I don't hear B level because I feel like that's his most. Yeah. He was in a special place at a special time, and it's like lightning in a bottle. So I don't think that it's that, but it's only like half a step, maybe a step down from that, from what I'm hearing, and that would make it like Water for Chocolate level, and in some cases more hip hop oriented, and thereby for the consumer better. Because I've always said this, Common's very much like Nas in the sense it's like, well, no, if you just give him a beat break and some loops and shit, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna get busy, and what Pete Rock is doing, beat breaks, scratches, mixes, loops.
I'm gonna be looking for some hooks though, and that's Coop's fault. That's good. That was Coop's point. I'll be looking for some good compliments.
Go look at his 3 best albums. Go look at his 4 best albums. He's not doing the hooks like that.
He's not.
He's not. But okay, so let's be clear. Nas is ahead of Com. Pac is ahead of Com. Jay is ahead of Com, right? We fair on that? Those 3 are definite?
Yeah. It's not an argument.
Who do you have definite after those guys? Big? I got Big as a definite, but
Face.
I got Face. That's 5. Who you got definite though?
Rakim.
That's 6. You see what I'm saying about where he could place himself? It's like, oh no, that's the core right there. It's like, well, he's not better than Big, J, Nas, Pac, or Rakim. It's like, and who else is? But he's in that Ice Cube, Ghostface, right next to Scarface's type of territory. If this album
bro's been putting it down since 90 what, 2?
1. I mean,
91.
91. I think it dropped January 92, but it was made in 91. He was one of the first unsigned hypes in the Source.
Yeah. Salute to Common, man. That's dope. You know, seeing our legends be able to put out stuff at a high level.
Yeah. And he's got other good albums. We're just talking about his high-end stuff. Like, if you just look at his 5 best albums, his 5 best albums pair comparably to anybody not named Nas or Scarface catalog-wise, in my opinion. Scarface, Nas, and Jay. You know, I know how you feel about KRS. Like, how about this? For me, this is the type of album that could put him ahead of somebody like a KRS. This puts him ahead of a Jada Kiss.
I was about to ask that. Yeah.
Kiss don't have
Jada doesn't have the resume. Me holding Jada high, that's a personal thing. Jada doesn't have the resume that Common has, and that's just me being objective.
Like, is Kiss the Game Goodbye his best album? Because that would be like 4th in Common's catalog.
To me, it is.
No, you're right. No, you're right. Absolutely
What's
right.
Common's catalog?
Yeah.
Kiss Game Goodbye is not better than B, Finding Forever, or Like Water for Chocolate.
No.
Yeah, he's my fifth in my top 5, but the buy-in is just on bias. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have the resume that those other guys got.
Oh, AG, I feel you. I listened to the Who Shot You verse that he did at the Verses. I listened to that 7 times today.
Yeah, it's like that.
It's like that when he spit, but the albums ain't like that. And Calm may not be Jada lyrically, but he's not like
he put
far
together
off.
better. He put together better album.
It's not like he's in some stratosphere that Jada exists in. No, Calm exists in the same stratosphere lyrically as Jada, and he's the better album maker and has been the better hit maker.
Yeah, if they get on a track together, Jada ain't gonna rap Common under a table. Let's be clear.
Yeah. No, not under the table.
It's not a wash. No, not at all.
No, so he can be, this album can put him somewhere like 7, 8, 9, 10 for me. So like, yeah, it's important. This is what I mean when I talk about other people and their status and people being so quick to put them in the top 5 or top 10. It's like, are you sure he's even better than Calm?
Nah, but you said the key word, definite. That definite is a short list.
That's what I mean.
Everything else is predicated on preference.
Look, Illmatic, it was written, Stillmatic, definite. With Lost Tapes intact too, if you want to count that. That's what I mean. It's like, no, he's approaching that type of definite status, so the consideration needs to be different as he approaches that status.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I expect this to be the album of the year thus far. And
I agree.
To be better than the Rhapsody, the Mock, the I Am God, the Master Ace, the Benny. I expect it to be better than all of those projects based on what I'm hearing, because the 4 records that I've heard are better.
Yeah, the field is different. It's different.
It feels different. In a lot of ways, it feels like they bring in that rap shit back. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to overstate this. It does have some moment of truth type of feeling to it, to me.
And speaking of which, I'm not going to even front, man. The pressure is on Preem and Nas after this. That's going to apply some pressure.
I said that after I heard the first record.
I won't put that out there. I won't put that out in the air.
I said that after I heard the
first. You don't think so at all, Sean?
No, I wouldn't want to put that out in the air because I don't think they're one and the same. I think they're mutually exclusive.
I was on the show. I was on this show, and I said when I heard that Common joint, I was like, man, Nas and Preem better come with it, because I heard that first record, and I was like, oh, no, that's a zone. You know what it reminded me of? When I heard Wise Up, it's how I felt when I heard So What's Up, which didn't even make Moment of Truth.
Yeah.
You know,
but inherently, Pete and Preem, like, from the same era and used to compete anyway. Like you said, they used to go to the same record stores and all that. So,
and Common and Nas are from the same era. They've been calling him the Chicago's version of Nas his whole career.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, they used to call me Chi-Town's Nas. Now they look at me like one of Chi-Town's guys. Yeah. Even Common said it.
Speaking of Esco, we got that Illmatic.
Yep. Let's get to the super chats real quick.
Jermaine L. Johnson with the $2 super chat. Appreciate you. Where should Blue Lips rank? We had that. What was it? 4th on our top 10 list.
4. That's up there too.
Yeah, solid album.
This? All these Common and Pete Rock joints are better than the Blue Lips project, which I really enjoy.
Yeah, I agree with that. Appreciate you again, Jermaine L. Johnson with the $5 super chat. Ghostface has 3 classic albums. Also, I Don't Care. I'm giving him half of Cuban Links. That's a solid point. We didn't even mention that. That's fair.
Purple Tape might be his trump card.
Shout out for the $2 super chat. You know what I'm saying? Showing love. And I don't know how to pronounce that. Is that X? Was that Xena 79 $5 super chat? Appreciate you. How do y'all feel about Bulletproof Wallets? I love Bulletproof Wallets. That would be a possible for me.
If it wasn't leaked and couldn't get past the clearances at that time, it would have been a classic.
Yeah, the watch and all them. Yeah, and the sun.
The watch. Yeah. The sun and the watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the sun and the watch really.
Yeah.
It's fourth. It's 4th in his catalog for me, but it probably should be 3rd.
I got it right behind Pretty Tony. I hold Pretty Tony.
Tony is good.
I got Pretty Tony at 5. Pretty Tony's my 5. I think Bulletproof's better.
And then Fish Scale right after that, right?
I got Pretty Tony at 3.
Okay, so I got Supreme, Iron Man, Fish Scale, Bulletproof, then Pretty Tony.
Oh, you got Fish Scale over Bulletproof. I got you.
Fish Scale
I got Pretty Tony at 3.
Fish Scale is masterful.
Was.
I love Fish Scale.
I got Bulletproof Wallets at 3. That's my 3rd.
See,
So
I
yeah,
feel
a lot of possibles running around for Ghost.
right. I feel
Wow.
like the big songs
Wow.
on Fish Scale are better than the big songs on Pretty Tony and Bulletproof, but I find them all to be comparable. Like I think Shaky Dog is the best story between the three
Shaky
albums.
Dog is
And that's
crazy.
how Fish
Yeah.
Scale starts.
Sean, is gun the new joint Guns N' Roses, is that in your top 5?
No.
Okay.
Ooh,
No.
9 Milli Brothers. 9
Me
Milli Brothers is on Fish Scale.
Nah, Me and the Brothers is dope.
Yeah, that's the
Nah,
best.
the set the tone joint. The set the tone joint. That's not in your top 5, Sean?
No. I don't want to talk about it.
All right. Mal 7 with the
You
$5 super.
avoided a whole show. You avoided a whole
He
show.
did.
We know
He
you
really
don't want to
did.
talk about it.
I did, man, because it's too much. It's too
He
much.
really did. Mal 7 with the $5 super chat. Appreciate you. Billboard naming Illmatic #1 is correct. Finally, they got something right. So you want to transition to that?
Let's get to it. Let's get to it. I'm happy about this one. The camp is actually happy about this because it's not so much as about the recognition that Son finally got on the Billboard chart at that, but it's like it's like you can't deny it. We know what Illmatic is, and looking at this list, I look at this list a lot today when it first came. I actually sent you guys a message and said, "Yo, we got to pivot," because I like the effort that Billboard put into this, because this top 10 to me is probably one of the best top 10s that they've done, if not the best top 10s or any list they have ever done. And I'm not saying that just because Son is at #1. I'm saying that because of look at the albums they got in their top 10.
Mm-hmm. They did a good job.
This is tough. This is a tough lineup. You can argue every single ranking of this particular list right here. You can argue it all day long. Blueprint, I hold Blueprint in high regard. I told y'all Blueprint to me was Jay's best album, even over Reasonable Doubt. Personally, I thought it was the best album. But you can argue this list, and you can actually have great arguments about this list. So with that said, let's argue.
It's arguments to be made, but it's solid all the way around. Like, I know Coop feels this way. I'm happy that both Chronic and Doggy Style are on here, but I feel like Doggy Style is the better album and should be ranked higher. But the fact that they're both on here, I think, is good. So, Miseducation, we consider it hip hop, but we've all been down this road about it not having, the bulk of it being hip hop songs, where she's doing a whole lot of rapping, but I'm not too mad at its placement. And for it to be named #3 here and #1 on the Apple list, Miseducation is getting a lot of love. Equipment Eye, personally, I understand its placement. I'm an AT-Aliens guy, but I get it. 2 double albums on here, Life After Death and All Eyes on Me. I want to say, and I don't want to come off disrespectful, but I think that's to have them both represented. For me, Life After Death definitely belongs on here. I think it's the greatest double album of all time. All Eyes on Me is right there, but I prefer Machiavelli, but I'm not mad at All Eyes on Me being on here. But that's saying something if 2 double albums made the list. And Paid in Full definitely needs to be on here. Great Adventures of Slick Rick definitely needs to be on here. Blueprint, I'm with you. Cool. Sean, you said you think that Blueprint is Jay's best album. It's arguable. The culture holds that one in high regard. So you probably would, if you did a poll, it'll probably be 50-50 on that Reasonable Doubt. But I'm a Reasonable Doubt guy, but I'm not mad at Blueprint being here. And I think that's the Jay representation pick. If they had to pick between the two, they wanted to represent Jay with Blueprint. But overall, it's a really solid list, man. That's all I got. And shout out to the GOAT being #1 with the GOAT album.
Absolutely.
So I have a lot of thoughts about this. First of all, I think this is the best list they've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like, period. First of all, 5 of my top 10 rap albums of all time are on this list. So I agree with it in a lot of ways. The way that they formed this list, and this is what I mean. So this goes back to the Elliot conversation. Well, for who their viewers are, for what their metrics are, and for what their numbers are, this is actually for them a 10 out of 10 on the list, because they did a couple of special things here. First of all, Eminem and Kendrick are not on here. So they are keeping the integrity of the list.
That's surprising. That's surprising.
But they're keeping the integrity of the list. They're like, no, we can hit our metrics and still be on some rap shit, which is all I'm asking for, because Kendrick doesn't have a top 10 rap album. Eminem doesn't have a top 10 rap album. And they said it. Drake doesn't have a top 10 rap album. Lil Wayne doesn't have a top 10 rap album. And you want to know why they don't? Because it's just the truth at the end of the day. Not saying you're not great, not saying you're not all-time great, but you don't have a top 10 rap album. The first thing that stuck out to me about this list was the fact that they didn't make the list. It made me think it's like, oh, y'all really gonna like be on your rap integrity shit while still doing your numbers and your metrics. Your numbers on your metrics say Nas, Big, Pac, and Jay. So we're gonna pick the album that their core base most notarizes them for.
Mount Rushmore. Gotta have them on there. Mount Rushmore.
Gotta have them on there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The beautiful thing about this list is the fact that this list is debate worthy. The first thing that they did, they took the most East Coast rap album that they could find because it's the Mecca, and they put it at number 1. And then they took the most West Coast rap album that they could find, and they put it at number 2. Yep. Then they took the hybrid album at number 3. Then they took the Southern rap album at number 4.
Good observation.
Strategic to make it conversational. No, you hardcore East Coast guys, Illmatic's your shit. You hardcore West Coast guys, The Chronic is your shit. All of you people that believe in the beautiful blend that is hip hop, Lauryn Hill. All you Southerners, Aquemini. They went and took the best part of each culture in terms of how the albums were put together. Even if you don't think these are the 4 best albums, culturally what they represent for their regions, for hip hop, it's appropriate. It's proper. I've said this all the time. Do I love The Diary by Scarface more than I love Aquemini? Do I love Southern Playalistic more than I love Aquemini? The answer to that is yes. Is it those albums better than Aquemini? Answer is no. I love It Was Written in Stillmatic. I love Ready to Die. I love Reasonable Doubt. I love Into the Wu-Tang and the Purple Tape. Is it better than Illmatic? No. Now, I do think that Doggy Style is better than The Chronic, but The Chronic embodies a piece of West Coast culture specifically. The way Doggy Style doesn't, because it's Doggy Style's predecessor.
No,
so the way that this list is put together is beautiful. You got to have Big and Pac in there. Should it maybe have been Me Against the World and Ready to Die? Maybe. Probably. Debatable. But they put the 2 biggest stars we've ever seen. They put their 2 biggest albums up on the list. You can't knock that hustle.
Keyword is biggest.
They put them right next to each other, and they put them next to each other appropriately, because although I think All Eyes on Me on book 1 is better than book 1 and book 2 of Life After Death. Life After Death as a whole is better, because All Eyes on Me book 1 is better than book 1 or book 2 on Life After Death. But right after that, I would go, if we're going in order, All Eyes on Me book 1, Life After Death book 1, Life After Death book 2, and then All Eyes on Me book 2, slight edge to Life After Death. So they're doing this appropriately. I love the fact that they actually pick, in my opinion, what the best 2 rap albums from their era are outside of It Takes a Nation of Millions, which is The Greatest Adventures of Slick Rick and Paid in Full, which means they paid homage to the era that spawned the greatness of MCs. Here's why It Takes a Nation of Millions and a Purple Tape is not on here. Oh, that's a little too edgy. That's a little too tough for what they're trying to do. It's not that the albums don't belong, but if you put the Purple Tape and It Takes a Nation of Millions in the top 10, and it deserves to be in the top 10, because those are 2 of my top 5 rap albums. And don't tell me there have been 10 better rap albums made than those 2 albums, because that's not fucking true, not even in the slightest.
You prefer Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em over Paid in Full, though, right?
No, I prefer the mic performance. Paid in Full is a better album. I have Paid in Full. I got my list, and I'm going to spit my list out right quick, like in a minute. But to me, Paid in Full and The Greatest Adventures of Slick Rick are 2 of the 4 best albums from that era, along with It Takes a Nation of Millions and Criminal Minded, in my opinion. Honorable mention is Straight Outta Compton. So they touched a lot. They did a lot. It's a very, very powerful list. I would take The Reasonable Doubt over The Blueprint, but for the people who know Jay-Z, like for the people who know Jay-Z, not for the hip-hop heads that know Jay-Z, but for the people who know Jay-Z, well, The Blueprint is that album. This is Billboard. You know what I'm saying? And so they're going to pick the album that's been more notarized. Reasonable Doubt might be more classic to us. It is conversational, but to the masses, the Blueprint is the magnum opus from Jay that they remember culturally outside of core hip hop head circles. This list is phenomenal. Like, it literally is brilliant, and it raises a lot of questions, and it creates a lot of debate and argument, which is what we love to do. Because now, tomorrow, when niggas wake up, West Coast niggas is gonna be like, Chronic should be number one. East Coast niggas is gonna be like, still the Mecca, Illmatic number one. Biggie fans is gonna be like, one step ahead of Pac. Pac fans is gonna be like, these niggas tripping. All Eyes on Me is better than Life After Death. It creates the conversation, and then it creates those core hip hop head conversations. It's like, well, is Illmatic better than the Chronic? Is the Chronic better than Illmatic? Hold on, is the Chronic better than Doggy Style? You get what I'm saying? It creates those conversations and those narratives while maintaining a hip hop integrity while still doing their numbers and their metrics. I find it to be their most phenomenal list.
Yeah. Not the piggyback real quick off you were saying what you were saying, cool, before you go real quick, Sean. Yeah, you was cooking on that with all the representation, East Coast, West Coast, the hybrid album, the down south joint. Aquemini is their best down south, well, Southern Playalistic is down south representation, but the overall body of work is Aquemini. I said that I was the ATL guy, but that has somewhat of an East Coast aesthetic. So if you're picking an Outkast album, Aquemini is it. So it's like they're using certain buzzwords. They got the biggest Biggie album, the biggest Pac album. Blueprint, we talked about earlier, Off the Wall versus Thriller, and it just, light bulb went off when you was talking about that. For us, it might be Off the Wall, but for the masses, it's Thriller. For Jay, for us, it's Reasonable Doubt, but for the masses, it's Blueprint. So, they really hitting key points with this list. But I just wanted to ask y'all real quick, then, Sean, you could have the floor. If each of you could omit one album from this list to replace one album that's not on this list, what would be your omission and what would you put in place of it? Not ranking out of the, that don't matter, but what would you take off and what would you put on?
I would take off Miseducation.
And your replacement?
I would replace it probably with Their Certificate. Okay. Even Scarface. The Fix.
Well, you're a Fix
The
guy.
Fix for top 10? Wow. I love the Fix, but I
think the Diary's better.
That might be a hot take. That might be a hot take, Sean.
I love the Fix.
I love the Fix too. What you got, Cool?
I would take Miseducation off too, but I wouldn't take it off as a knock to Lauren. I would just take it off because it's really a rap album. You can even say that it's a hip hop album because it's hip hop inspired, and it has a lot of the melodies and lyrical composition of a hip hop album, fundamentally speaking. But I'm just going to keep on saying this until people understand me clearly. I think Illmatic's better because of what it represents and culturally how it feels. But I don't know a better album with better beats and rhymes than the Purple Tape. I still to this day have never heard a combination of high level beats and high level rhymes the way that I heard on the Purple Tape. And so the fact that it's not in the top 10, I understand all the talk. To me, it's the finest beat tape. Like the Chronic and Purple Tape are in conversation for best beat tape ever in terms of just beats. But when you put the lyrical composition in, and then the songs, and then the sequencing, like the second half of that album, even when we're talking about the Chronic, and I'm not saying this in any sort of disrespectful way, the second half of the Chronic isn't fucking with the second half of the Purple Tape.
No.
Not many albums
but listen to what I'm saying. Well, there's no album, in my opinion, that's fucking with the second half of the Purple Tape. From Ice Water to the end of the album, it's like literally a 10 of 10 on every level.
RZA lost his mind on that album, man. He was going crazy.
He went crazy.
He said he wasn't showering. He was in the basement eating turkey burgers for like months on it.
Well, hold on. Let me finish. And so, although that they've shown that they know their stuff, it's like they still don't know the intricacies totally because it's like the Purple Tape and It Takes a Nation not being on here are the only issues that I will raise. I'm cool with that, but I would probably take the Blueprint Miseducation out, and I would put It Takes a Nation and the Purple Tape in. They're just too good from beginning to end. As far as from beginning to end, full-fledged rap albums that have more than 10 songs on them, I don't know if there are 2 rap albums better than those 2 albums outside of Illmatic, and that includes The Chronic, Doggy Style, Low End Theory, Death Certificate, Enter the Wu-Tang, The Infamous, Supreme, Moment of Truth, like you name Liquid Sword, you name it. It's like, no, not better than those 2. You can't go show me the albums. Go show me the albums from end to end that's better than those 2 albums, because those albums is going 14, 15 tracks strong. Illmatic doesn't even do that, which is why I have the Purple Tape and It Takes a Nation at 2 and 3 after Illmatic, because it's like, well, shit, from end to end, ain't nobody fucking with those albums.
I agree with that sentiment, but I think, like you pointed out earlier, Coop, it's all about the representation on here. So it's like, if we have to do Jay-Z representation or Wu-Tang representation, which one we picking? Or if we're doing Jay representation or Public Enemy representation, which one we doing? So, you know, I feel what you're saying, but I think that they have to have Jay on this list to a degree.
They have to.
If I'm taking one off, I'm with y'all. I hate to be the echo chamber, but it would be Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, the one I would take off. And Coop already named the Purple Tape, so I'm not going to use that one. I was going to say that, but that's my personal second favorite album of all time, behind Illmatic. But I'm gonna go 36 Chambers in place of Miseducation to have Wu-Tang representation as a group. That's the only change I would make.
I like.
So, can I give you my top 10 right quick?
Yeah.
I have Illmatic, the Purple Tape, It Takes a Nation, Doggy Style, Paid in Full, Enter the Wu-Tang, The Chronic, Aquemini, The Low End Theory.
That's a Teflon top 10.
Yeah.
And my 10 is tough because I feel like there are a lot of ways you could go. If I'm going personally, I'm picking The Infamous. Yeah, I'm picking The Infamous, but there are some albums that are right there, like It's Dark and Hell is Hot, Death Certificate, Reasonable Doubt, Moment of Truth, Supreme, Liquid Swords. Like, there are a lot of albums for me that could buy their way. Like my 10 to 15 is probably tougher than my 1 to 5 or my 5 to 10, because I feel like those albums are so close. I just feel like there's something special about The Infamous. When I listen to East Coast hip hop, even today, when I look at The Lox, when I look at Griselda, I say, well, if The Infamous doesn't happen, this doesn't happen like that. And that's why I say The Infamous. But It's Dark and Get Rich or Die Trying is in that same, like all of those albums. So if you wanted to pick one of those albums, for me, I'm going to pick The Infamous.
I'm actually surprised Get Rich didn't make it on a Billboard list, top 10. I'm actually surprised by that.
I'm not only because the way this list is constructed is based on it's really based on what the artists can tour with and for the masses. This was the safest thing that it could go. Because I want to retract my horrible take on the Fix. That was an emotional take, but my real take, I would agree with 36 Chambers more than anything else to have representation of the best group, hip hop group of all time, being in that top 10 with 36 Chambers, because that would be a safe bet, which is again one of my favorite albums of all time as well. Like Coop said, the infamous, I would pick that all day, but the way the Billboard is constructing these lists is based on the masses accepting this in a kind of like a touring type format. I was just researching it just now, trying to figure out who was on the actual panel, because they don't ever put who's on the panel. Because I wanted to know, like, specifically who they had in this room to put together a list like this, because this list is not conducive to what we've seen before from them, right? We haven't seen a list like this before from them, like a collection like that. You know what I'm saying? And again, I think for me, if I really had to like pick from my perspective based on what I'm reading right now and what they have, because it said the artist can tour with and the fans will be satisfied. That's the premise around this way that this is constructed.
Oh, okay. So here's why Eminem, Kendrick, or 50 album didn't make it, is because their biggest songs that people would want to hear, more so for M and maybe for Kendrick than for 50, they're not even necessarily on those albums that you would call their seminal pieces of work.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because this says based on what moved the masses more.
But also too, I will tell you, if I'm picking an album to swap out in that 10 spot other than the Infamous, it would be an argument for me between Get Rich or Die Trying and It's Dark or Hell is Hot.
Yeah,
those are massive albums.
But
I just think the Infamous is more culturally important, and let me tell you why. It's because what Get Rich or Die Trying and It's Dark and Hell is Hot represent is more representative of the greatness of the artist than the greatness of the culture. The Infamous is a representation of the greatness of the artist and the culture all at once. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Ain't no damn Shook Ones is better than Get At Me Dog and In the Club. Give Up the Goods is better than PIMP and Stop Being Greedy. Eye for an Eye is a better posse cut than any posse cut that's on those two records. Eye for an Eye is better than Niggas Done Started Something. It's better than Don't Push Me. You get what I'm saying? Temperatures rising. Survival of the Fittest. Oh no, that's better than Many Men.
So
and If I Can't. So it's
guess who's number 11? Guess who's number 11 on that list?
Probably Get Rich or Die Trying.
It is.
Oh, yep. they extended beyond 10?
Yep. I see. I'm looking at it right now. And guess who's number 12?
It's Dark and Hell is Hot.
Purple Tape.
Oh, okay. Wow. I didn't know they extended the list. That's crazy.
I need to know who's in this room.
They've been jocking our style. Definitely been jocking our style.
This sounds very familiar.
Because here's the thing about it. When you put Illmatic at number 1, you know what they're saying? Great album still trumps great sales.
Yes.
Because all these other albums that are on this list are gold or multi-platinum a year after their release, except for the album they have at number 1. All these albums are gold. Paid in Full is $700,000. I mean, not $700,000, 700,000 copies first year. Greatest Adventures of Slick Rick is platinum first year. All these other albums are platinum or multi-platinum. The Chronic of Dog is 4 and 5 million.
I was going to ask about Great Adventures of Slick Rick. I know it belongs, as a head, it fathered so many, the storytelling in the rap game. It fathered so much, but I was literally surprised to see that at 10. I think that's the biggest surprise for me on the list.
I love the surprise because when I thought about
it's great to be there, but I was like, wow, they put the ruler on here. Okay.
It's still not. I don't know if it's top 10, but it's still top 20 to me.
It's in the conversation.
And at the time it got made, it was a top 5 rap album all time.
Yeah, absolutely. And to your infamous point, Coop, the highs on the album is so high because I'm personally a Hell on Earth guy. That's my favorite Mob album. But the highs on the Infamous is just so crazy. Like, I can't objectively put Hell on Earth above the Infamous, but I prefer it. You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of Illmatic, and it was written on the Infamous and Hell on Earth in the sense that,
MP is better. Yeah.
Prodigy's better on Hell on Earth than he is on Infamous, the same way Nas is better on It Was Written than he is on Illmatic. But something about the songs on Illmatic, something about the songs on the Infamous is different.
What you say, Coop? Timeless themes is what you say, right? That's it.
Yo, look here. This is timeless. Yo, Queens get the money, long time, no cash. I'm caught up in the hustle where the guns go blast.
Queens get the money.
Do y'all think Havoc's production is better on Hell on Earth? I like the darker production for me.
It is. No, he's a better producer, but that doesn't necessarily make for a better album. This is what I'm saying. Your beats could be better, your rhymes could be better, but Give Up the Goods, Shook Ones, Survival of the Fittest, Eye for an Eye. Listen to the titles of the songs and then think about how the songs were executed. It's like you can't replicate or duplicate that. It's the execution of it. Well, I'll be sipping gin straight from a plastic cup on the park bench on 12th Street. My whole crew is famous. You tried to bust your gap, but keep it real and you nameless. First of all, slow it down. You on the wrong route. Let me sit you down and show you what all about. Street life. No jokes, no games, kid. For years, I've been doing the same shit. Just drinking liquor, doing bids, extorting crackheads, and sticking up the stick-up kids. When you say shit like that, no, it sticks different.
Yeah.
Put us together. It's like mixing vodka and milk. I'm going out blasting, taking my enemies with me. And if not, they scar so they will never forget me.
He got so many
forgive me, the
quotables.
enemy
It's
got me
crazy.
not knowing how to act.
He was
I'm
too
falling
many.
and I can't turn back.
He was a
He's
top
crazy
3.
on there. He's
He was a
top
top
connected.
3 MC at that. He was a top 3 MC at that
He
time.
really was, man. I miss P so much, man.
Top
That dude
5.
was one of the best.
I miss
Top 5.
man.
At 95, he was top 3, bro. Had to be.
Nah, I think
Big Nas and P.
Nas, Ray, Big.
You would put Ray over P at that time? I got P
95,
third.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. I got
P higher.
tough.
You got P higher in 95. I got P higher in 96, not 95. He's not better than Ray in 95. He doesn't have an incarcerated Scarfaces.
Yeah, but
I think it's splitting hairs, but I got P higher.
Knowledge God, Glaciers of Ice.
And Method Man's in that conversation too, but P was just different.
I
The way he did.
was actually thinking Redman's in that conversation.
Redman is too, but the way P delivered his bars, man, like
P conviction. P conviction was different then, man.
His unorthodox style, man.
He's the most chilling East Coast author we've ever seen.
Yeah,
easily.
He's not the best. He's the most chilling. He's the one that when he says it, you're like, ooh.
Yeah.
It almost makes you uncomfortable listen sometimes. Like it's an uncomfortable, beautiful listen. It's like, oh no, this nigga really like.
It's what the old folks used to say. P was good at selling wolf tickets because P is a small dude, but you believed everything he said. Like, you know what I'm saying? You looked at P like, yo, this dude different.
When he said he pulled out his heat first, I pulled out my heat last. And who the fuck you think is living to this day? Trying to tell these young niggas crime don't pay. They look at me and say, Queens niggas don't play. Do your thing. I'll do mine, kids. Stay out of my way.
And it's his conviction. It's his conviction.
Yeah, you can't recreate when somebody talks to you that way on record. You know what I'm saying?
The talk's different. The talk's different. Talk's heavy.
God bless. I mean, he was getting dumb butted by Keith Murray, but you would never know that. Because he was talking so crazy. He was, God bless, but he was talking so crazy that you would never think that Keith Murray had him under the cars.
I heard they got into a little scuffle. I heard there was a little scuffle between the two.
It was crazy.
A few times. It was a few rounds. More than one.
They could not be in the same place. They could not be in the same place.
Yeah.
But God bless. Yeah, I'm gonna read you guys the next 10 real quick.
For sure.
So number 13 was Tribe Called Quest. Low End Theory. 14,
hold on. What, is that 13? Is that 13?
13. 14. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
I like that pick.
I like that.
15, it would be further back, but it's up there.
15. They got Damn. AG. 16.
Moving on.
Wanted.
What was 16?
America's Most Wanted.
I like that.
Yeah, you got to pick a Cube album. Pick the first one or the second one.
17, 3 Feet High and Rising, De La.
Oh, okay.
I think that's too high when you haven't said Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers yet.
I agree.
Facts.
Because 18, they got Straight Outta Compton.
I love Straight Outta Compton. It might be more important than Enter the Wu-Tang, but it's not better. So I'm going to stick with the Wu-Tang Sword. And It's Dark and Hell is Hot still hasn't been mentioned, which I think is crazy.
But they got It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back at 19.
It's too far back. It's too far back.
I agree.
Way too far back. It's a top 5 rap album to this day.
This way it get a little weird because they got Super Duper Fly at 20.
They got to have what I call their appropriate representation. So I understand that, but Into the Wu-Tang not being a top 20 rap album, they still have work.
So Lauren and Missy, the only female representation on the list. So I can see that.
And Hardcore is just a better rap album.
It is. To me, it is.
It is.
Super Duper Fly. Hardcore is better than Super Duper Fly.
Yo, and Missy's getting a lot of love because it was just circulating that, Wayne, I think I've heard him say it before, though, that Wayne puts Missy in his top 5 rappers all time.
That's because before Wayne was Wayne, Missy was the first person who actually called that he was going to be what he became. There's actually an interview from her, like, 1999, 2000, where she's like, Wayne's going to be the biggest star in this game.
Yeah.
So she called it before anybody else did. She's visionary that way.
Yeah.
Dark and Hell is Hot at 21, though. So they finally got this Dark and Hell is Hot at 21.
How far does the list go?
Man, they got the whole thing is 100.
Oh, okay. I didn't know they did that much. Okay.
There's not 21 rap albums better than It's Dark and Hell is Hot. Maybe
Where is 36 Chambers? Where's 36
15,
Chambers?
15 there might be 15 albums better than It's Dark and Hell is Hot objectively, but like after it needs to be between 15 to 20 at worst. I would probably have it closer to 10 to 15.
It's a monumental album. Ready to Die is at 24. I still have
what was 22 and 23?
22 and 23 is Graduation at 23.
Damn, another Kanye joint?
Yeah, no. 22 is Dr. Dre 2001.
No.
Fuji's at 25, The Score.
Absolutely not.
And they finally got 36 Chambers at 26.
That's
what was 25?
25 was The Score.
Oh, okay.
And they got Jay again at 27 at College Dropout.
Okay, Into the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers is the most innovative rap album I've ever heard.
My favorite Kanye joint ain't been mentioned yet. I think Late Registration is his best, but
they got 3.
And how they gonna have Kanye 3 times and not have anybody else more than once?
Exactly. Right. And they finally got the Infamous at 28.
So the lower we go, the worse the list gets, and it starts to lose credibility.
It starts getting weird. It's like
I mean, it's not that it's weird. It's just like, okay, 28 rap albums better than The Moment of Truth by Gangstar? Because I don't.
Well, they got Cardi B at 29.
Stop playing, Sean. See, this is what you go too far. This is what you do.
Just gonna start. Is there another topic that we'd like to possibly discuss? Another topic to possibly discuss?
They got Cardi B in front of the Marshall Mathers LP.
Somebody in the chat confirmed that, man. I don't believe Sean. I don't believe that Sean said.
Square Biz. They got on Cardi B Privacy Invasion at 29 and Marshall Mathers at 30.
I have more of a problem with Kanye having 3 of the top 30 rap albums than I do Cardi B or Eminem being in the top 30, quite frankly, because that's just not accurate.
Reasonable Doubt 32.
Okay, so
Take Care 31.
I'm gonna just get on this Wu-Tang bus and just ask you: Into the Wu-Tang, Supreme, and Liquid Swords are all top 30 rap albums.
Absolutely.
Outside of the Purple Tape, like they have 4 top 30 rap albums, and like there's just like it's not.
And Iron Man ain't too far behind. Iron Man ain't too far behind that.
Iron Man would be top 50.
It's
Iron Man would be top 50 to me, but like they have 4 of the 30 best rap albums I've ever heard. However you want to mix it and match it, wherever you want to put them. I think they have 2 top 10 rap albums, and I think the other 2 albums belong in the top 25.
Yeah. So they came out swinging, but you see how it tailored off. So let's move on. Let's get into one of our final topics. I know we get close to wrapping up, but I do want to get you guys' thoughts because Complex also dropped their list on the same day that
everybody
Billboard dropped their list. Everybody got a list. So Complex dropped their list and voted Academics as the #1 hip hop media in the power rankings. So they have an actual list of everyone on here. I could pull that list up real quick, but right now they got Academics the top dog. So what you guys think? Talk to me.
I mean, he was the most active during the beef, between Kendrick and Drake. He was reporting live. They had act like he was Stephen A. Smith on ESPN. My man was like, he was on like, the play-by-play, minute-by-minute every hour. You know what I mean? So I ain't mad at that.
I think that him being #1 and Joe Budden sliding in the #2 position is indicative of the way this media cycle exists. The only reason that he's really #1 is because he pulls up more than Joe. That's it. He's not better than Joe. He's not more insightful than Joe. He's not more accurate than Joe. He pulls up more. The best ability is what?
Availability.
And he pulls up when shit happens. And so I took it, when I read that, I took that as a moniker. It's like, you have to update your formula like all the time and understand that the reason that he's in #1 and Joe is in #2 is literally just about the fact that he pulls up more, as in it happens and he's there, whereas Joe will pull up 2-3 days later. And what they're officially telling you is like, no, you can still pull up 2-3 days after it happened and you can still be a dude, but you're not going to be that dude because the way this media cycle works, the person that pulls up immediately. That's why it's important when stuff happens, and we need to take this and inhale this too. Oh no, when it happens, we got to pull up. That's because that's what this list is letting you know. It's like letting you know. It's like, oh no, this isn't about skill. This is about will and availability, because none of us think that Ack is better than Joe. Do you think Ack's better than Joe?
No, live stream is just the wave. The kids identify with the live stream pull-ups more than anything. So, like you said, when something pops off, he goes on the live stream, interacts with the people.
It's not just the identifying of it. It's the fact that it's available for them to identify him first.
Yeah, they're consumers. You know, they're consuming the content. Give me more, give me more, you know?
It's like this. It's like this. If the same product hits the shelves and the products are comparable, and one comes out Tuesday and one comes out Friday, the way the American consumer mind works, black, white, Latino, America, Asian, America. The way that it works, even if you feel like the product is going to be better on Friday, well, you got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to absorb this other product. The sheep are going to gravitate 70% because it's already available. Very few are going to wait for you because you've been waiting too long. And that's what they're telling you. It's like, oh no, I'm not saying that he's better. I'm saying he's more available than you are. That's it. He's more available and therefore in first place this year. Because every time something happened that was important, which was mostly the Kendrick and Drake beef, who was the first person there?
Definitely was that.
And so that's why the pull-up is important. And all of us working on an indie level, on a major level, need to take notes, because this is also the game saying, it's just like, no, we're not asking you to be the best. We're asking you to pull the fuck up. And he pulled up.
It's crazy we didn't make the list, though. I'm just saying.
I mean, I definitely should have made the list. Like, I don't know what's going on. I thought this was a travesty done to me. I don't appreciate it, but I'm going to get over it and recover. But I always look at what we can learn from it. And it just taught me that it's like, oh no, he won this battle this year by just hitting the media cycle more than Joe. Joe stuck to his slot times, stuck to his pace, and he didn't provide an inferior product. He just didn't provide the product as often. You know what I'm saying? It's some hustling shit to it too. It's like, well, dude, one dude's standing out on a corner fucking 5 days a week. One dude's standing out on a corner 2 days a week. Who are the fiends gonna flock to? Who the fiends gonna flock to?
Joe used to have more stuff, like when he was doing the pull-ups and all that, but he slowed down. Like, you know, now he's just doing the pod.
That's what I'm saying. One dude's on the block 5 days a week serving. Other dude's on the block 2 days a week. Who the fiends gonna go to?
Mm-hmm.
Serving his product. Yeah.
What is his name? Kai
Sinet.
Yeah, he's number 3.
He's got the kids. He's got the kids. He's got the young generation. He's on there because he has the young generation on lock.
Yep.
He's the person that they've identified. So that's why he's number 3.
Charlemagne at number 4 and Elliot at number 5.
Okay. I don't agree.
And only thing I'm mad at is number 6. I don't know why people keep pulling up at number 6. I have no clue why people keep pulling up there.
I prefer number 6 over number 4 and 5. But I prefer not 4, 5, 6. I never thought, like, unless it's a dice game, I don't want 4, 5, or 6.
He's Vlad pays mad bread to get them on his show. So that's why they pull up. He's paying them. He's
paying rappers to indict themselves. That's what he's paying. Man. That's crazy.
Absolutely. Definitely getting niggas knocked.
Absolutely. Ebro at 7.
I like Ebro at 7. I like that for him.
Anthony Fantano is at 8.
He's dope. I like that.
Jillian Wallow at 9. Nardwar is a dope guy. He's at 10.
Nardwar's wild, man.
Nori at 11.
Mm-hmm.
Lil Yachty and Mitch at 12. Rory and Maul at 13.
I like that for Rory and Maul.
Yo, it's gonna be a wild media cycle if Rory and Maul ever pass Joe up on a list like this. It's gonna be wild.
They won't let that happen. Bootleg Kev at 14, and we got Angie Martinez at 15, and Big Boy 16.
I like
Shout
that.
out to Big Boy. I like Big Boy, man.
Angie 17, Sway 18, and you got Nadeska 19.
Nadeska be working, man.
And you got Trap Lord Ross at 20, and Van Lathan at 21. I'll stop right there. But Adam 22 at 22. I mean,
That's wild.
Yeah, this like Coop said, man. This
You gotta pull up.
All of them, majority of them, if not all, have some kind of controversy swinging around their shows, right?
Mm-hmm.
Act whole thing was the Drake and Kendrick stuff, more so on the Drake side. You know what I mean? So of course he was pulling up live time. As soon as something dropped, Act was online. As soon as something hit the wire, Act was in front of.
And he had a direct line to Drake, so he was inside information report. You know.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
he's damn near working for OVO.
Speaking of which, I still have not received my white leather OVO jacket with the Hip Hop Talks patch. And somebody, Ack, if you could talk to your man, tell him that he owes me a motherfucking jacket for the L that I just took for bed.
Yo, those NBA joints that OVO put out is cold.
Want my jacket?
They are
jacket. I stuck up for you. You let this Crip walk. You let this nigga Crip walk on a blacktop playing hopscotch on you. I want my OVO jacket. All right. Big Carolina blue and white Hip Hop Talks patch right here. White leather. I want my jacket, Drake.
Yo,
get academic snitching ass. Get his snitching ass to get me my jacket.
You ain't getting that jacket.
I want my jacket. I'm not going to Canada to get punched like Rick Ross and his crew. But when he comes to that, I'm going to ask him.
You good in Canada, bro? Trust me, you are good in Canada.
No.
I promise you, you're good in Canada.
Trust me, every time I go through customs, I'm never good. They like, oh, it's this nigga. No, go stand over to the side. It's been a stand over to the side situation since about 2014. It's like, no, you go over here. It's like, yeah, they know. Going over here. I want my jacket, Drake. No. Damn all that. I don't care about this list anymore. I want my jacket. Because what I've had to put up with the last 90 days, I want my jacket.
A Hip Hop Talks OVO collab jacket is wild. I ain't even gonna hold you.
That is wild.
I want my jacket.
The cool face on the back. That is crazy.
Black Dad Gang hat.
Yeah. He goes like what is the owl caged, encaged or no? Like on the jacket.
I don't think OVO's gonna go for that. I think
all right.
The owl's flying. That's you know what is before we get we want to close out with Coop's Corner, but that's my only critique with the video because they used a barn owl and the OVO owl is actually a great horned owl. So I wish they would have kept it funky and kept
Sean,
it.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about that, Sean.
Sean thinking this is Animal Planet or something, trying to drop some animal knowledge. Like, let's go into the next topic, man.
I'm just saying.
This nigga giving us a play-by-play.
He think he the black. Sean think he the Black Steve Irwin.
And in the Arctic summer during the summertime.
Yo, PG Lang, it was a great. The OVO owl is a great horn owl. It's not a barn owl.
Yeah, Sean think he the Black Steve Irwin, man. Like, that's wild.
Yo, are you gonna tell me what the walruses do?
It's been a show
winter time in the Arctic North. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, what is this? Is it my turn? Is it my turn?
Let's go with the Coop's Corner.
This is ridiculous. Shout out to Lil Kim. Happy birthday, Lil Kim. Happy birthday. I wanted to show Lil Kim some love. You want to know why? And this has been on my mind for some weeks now. This was actually going to be my corner originally, but when I realized that her birthday was coming up, I figured we should wait till her birthday to do it. Lil Kim's one of the greatest rappers of all time. She doesn't get enough credit. I hear a lot of talk about how this is the greatest era for quote unquote female MC. There are even female MCs that don't like being quote unquote tagged and labeled a female MC. Never has a woman took the game and pimped this rap game the way Lil Kim did. And whether you like it, love it, or hate it, all of the women in hip hop today have taken cues from her game. Because not only did she manipulate and pimp the game better than anybody else, but she's given this rap game some of its most stellar moments. Part of the reason why I was okay with having a conversation about female MCs is because Lil Kim was the type of female MC that would jump on the track and have a better verse than some of your favorite rappers and some of the greatest rappers of all time. She actually used her femininity to her advantage. Like, she took advantage of all of us, and masterfully so. But she also spit on the microphone. And this is what I mean. The best tennis player that I saw growing up was Steffi Graf. I never cared that she played on the women's side or the men's side. She's still the only person to win 4 of each major, male or female. Sometimes it doesn't matter if you're male or female. It just matters if you have the goods to perform. I've never seen a woman in this game perform like Lil Kim. So I don't care about the fact that she's a woman outside of my obvious physical nature that eats with my eyes and likes what I see, especially from a younger version of Kim. But on the microphone, yeah, I said it. Pause. But
Say nothing, man.
yeah, I knew what you were thinking.
That's not pause worthy. You talk about Kim, man. Like,
yeah.
you know, it's all good.
But for all the sexuality, for all the femininity, she grabbed the microphone and she rocked, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Her verses, like you can put her guest verse catalog right next to Biggie, Nas, and Jay. You can.
Yeah.
It's there. Listen to songs like Lady Marmalade. I Can Love You with Mary J. Blige. No, she next levels these records.
Mm-hmm.
All About the Benjamins, next levels the record. Quiet Storm remix, next level the record. The hook on Money, Power, and Respect. Sometimes we spend so much time trying to identify ourselves that we just need to be ourselves. Kim was just herself. She's a pretty ass chick from Brooklyn that can rhyme her ass off. I wish more people would follow in the footsteps of that. It's like, oh no, she sold the sexuality. But if you actually go look at the bars, name a woman with more verse of the year contender verses than Kim. Because there's not one. She's got more verse of the year contender verses than any woman who's ever lived, because it's comparable to the greatest men that have ever lived. And so sometimes if we'll just stop and appreciate somebody for who they are, it doesn't all have to be about the misogynistic side. It doesn't have to be about the sexuality. Yeah, she's beautiful. She took advantage of it. She could rap her ass off. Most of her best verses came after Biggie died. I don't want to hear that shit about how he wrote hardcore. Everything else after hardcore, she wrote.
Mm-hmm.
What hip-hop quotable is on hardcore? Because all her hip-hop quotables come after hardcore. She's immaculate. Happy birthday to the best female MC ever. I have no problem with calling her the greatest female MC ever, because that's what she is. She's very much like Steffi Graf to me. No, she won on every surface you put her on. You want her to be the prettiest girl in the room? She gonna win. You want her to sell her sexuality? She gonna win. You want her to rhyme over a Lady Marmalade? She will. You want her to rhyme over a Quiet Storm? She will. On all surfaces, she was just one of the best. It didn't really matter that she was a woman. Do y'all remember hearing Kim on Quiet Storm and thinking anything about whether she was a woman or not, or thinking about how she stole the show? You thought about how she stole the show because she stole the show. So instead of being locked into these archetypes and tropes, I'm going to challenge the women of this era to just continue to steal the show the way Kim did. Because that's what she set the table for you to do. She set the table for you to steal the show. So when I hear a Yeah Glow or a Wannabe, oh no, that's because Lil Kim came and did this shit and did it better than most of the guys. Who gives a damn if she's a woman or not? She's one of the top 5 cultural icons that this culture has ever seen. It's not a question. She's a top 5 cultural icon in this culture. There's not one male MC that has influenced the crop of male MCs the way she has influenced the crop of female MCs. Not one.
There you go. And to your point, cool, happy birthday to Kim, but also happy belated Mother's Day, because she got a lot of kids in the game. A lot of them.
Facts.
Man, she got so many kids, she need to start a foster home. Take care of all these little niggas. So, shout out to Lil Kim. Happy birthday. And if you really want to make your mark as a woman in this game, instead of talking about being a woman in this game, why don't you just smash these niggas on record like Kim did? How about that? That's how she really earned her keep with us.
She
We
did.
knew that she was beautiful from the first time we seen her on Players Anthem. She earned her keep because she rhymed her ass off. You look forward to hearing her rap. That's what it was about at the end of the day.
Word.
The beauty, the over-sexualization of it, that's to sell records. But for us at the core, she did this shit and she made us better because she made us appreciate the fact that there's a woman that could get on a track with Jadakiss and Biggie and out-rap them in their prime.
Mm-hmm.
She could get on a record with a prime Prodigy and out-rap him.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she could. It's been done before. And so instead of focusing on what's not right, why don't you just focus on burying these niggas the way she did? Because that's what she really did. She got on records with the best of the best, and she stunted on them. Think about this. She's outstyling Big on a beat that's more made for Big. That's part of why they had to switch the beat up, I'm pretty certain. After she did her verse on the Benjamins, it's like, no, we got to switch that up. We can't have it. That ain't going to work. We got to change the beat now.
Yeah, she owned that.
She owned that record. We got to
And
change the beat now. That might
And
be
her
the best
verse is
oxygen.
arguably the best on that song. Even though Biggs is top tier over the dope beat switch, Kim's verse is still arguable as better.
Kim's verse has the most quotables. It's got more quotables than the Big verse.
Mm-hmm.
Wanna rumble with the B, huh? Bzz. Throw a hex on the whole family.
Yeah.
Dressed in all black like the Omen. Have your friends singing, this is for my homies. That's what I'm saying. She used her sexuality to the advantage to smash on the have your friends saying, this is for my homies. And you know me. She's great, man. She's still the best woman I've ever heard on the mic because she's got the catalog, the resume, the guest appearances, the bars, the brutalization of some of the best rappers we've ever seen to prove it. So shout out to Lil Kim. Happy birthday. Be more like Kim. And I'm not talking about the over-sexualization part. I'm talking about the rapping ass rapper part. Kim loved the rhyme.
No doubt. No
Yeah.
doubt. Queen B, happy birthday. One of the best. For real, one of the best.
Yeah.
Let's get
One of
these
the best
super
ever.
chats. One of the best ever, hands down. Let's get these super chats and get up out of here. Where we at? I hope I ain't missing anyone. Did we get this one already? Jermaine Johnson.
Solid list, but it takes a nation should be here. Yeah,
Okay.
Definitely should.
Eddie Expense.
Eddie Expense, shout out to you, bro. Appreciate the $5 super chat. I'm taking out L Boogie and Jay-Z Blueprint and putting in P Nation and Ice Cube Death Certificate. I ain't mad at that. Death Certificate is one of my favorite albums of all time.
Yo, Queens get the money. Eddie Expense for Philly, but he don't like Jay-Z.
Oh, okay. Andre Shashir with the $5 super chat. Appreciate it. In my opinion, over time, I think either Magic or KD3 or both could make a top 100. What are y'all's thoughts? Most definitely, especially KD3. I think KD3 is a top 5 Nas album, so I think it's definitely a top 100 album of all time right now, not even with, time added to it.
Absolutely. And we got Jermaine Johnson as well.
Peace, Jermaine. Appreciate the $5 super chat. I hate when people compare today's stripper rappers with Kim. Know the differences that Kim could actually rap. They can't out-rap Jada and Prodigy. That to Coop's point. Yeah, that's exactly what he said. So,
no doubt. I think that's all the super chats. We appreciate the love, all the super chats. We thank y'all for all of that. Fellas, y'all ready to end this thing? Hold on, we got another one. LP, we appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
Shout out to you, LP. Shout out to the great show, fellas. Appreciate it.
No doubt.
Yeah, it's about midnight. You get to tap into that Common and that M album. So, it's going to be a dope night for hip hop.
Well, hold on. A couple more things before we go. First of all, what are your expectations for the Eminem album?
Oh, I like what he posted today. He posts on socials that it's a concept album, and you definitely need to listen to it in track list order. And that's what I was asking for, a handful or maybe more shows ago when I was talking about, revisiting the Slim Shady persona, that I hoped it was a conceptual album. So now that I got clarification that it is a conceptual album, I just hope that he delivers.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a top 20 rap here.
You faded out, Coop. What'd you say?
Top 20 rap album this year? Is the Eminem album going to be a top 20 rap album this year?
I'm putting a stamp on it and saying it will be.
I think so too. I think so too.
Do you mind if I say something right quick?
Mm-hmm.
I think some of the takes that I've been given have been misconstrued. I don't have a problem with Eminem's whiteness. It's just because of his whiteness, it sometimes makes it hard for me to relate to his music. Mm-hmm. My bigger issue is with his catalog. Like, my issue is not with his whiteness. My issue is with his catalog. Because if you actually look at it, he's a great storyteller. He's a great lyricist. He's got multitudes of cadences and flows that he can pull out, the yin and the yang. He's got stuff like Rabbit Run. He's got
which was our quotable, our bar seminar. Yeah.
He's got I told you I want everybody to pour from the cup of priv and let it runneth over. Like, he's capitalized on his whiteness, but that's not what I hold him hostage for. I'm like, well, I can't relate to it. If I can't relate to it, like, here's the thing. I didn't know shit. Like, back into the Wu-Tang, I didn't know anything about Kung Fu Flicks and Staten Island, and I didn't know anything about that. I couldn't relate to any of that. That shit was dope, and it was just undeniable.
It pulled you in that world.
So just make undeniably dope shit is really what I'm stressing. And that's really, make dope records. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, I can't really see you putting your girlfriend in the trunk of the car. Niggas don't get to do that.
But I think you was objective in your take. One thing you never tried to pull is the it's a common narrative that, like, okay, people don't listen to Eminem in the hood, so that docks him from his status in the rap game. There's a lot of dope MCs that are black that people don't listen to in the hood. Like, Black Thought is one of the greatest of all times. I've never pulled up in the hood and heard a Black Thought record.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Hey, real talk. I've never pulled up. I'm gonna be honest with you. I never heard Tribe Called Quest or De La Soul getting banged in the hood like that.
I have heard that, but
not like that. I don't remember hearing the
not De La, but Tribe. I have, but
Tribe more so definitely, but not De La. I ain't never heard the Roots in the hood like that when I was coming up. I was the one that was putting niggas in the hood up on Illadelph Half. Like, they're like, what is this? I'm like, this is this guy, right. Black Thought. So they're from Philly. These guys are great. They're like, who the fuck is this?
So we got to stop using that against M. Like, oh, they ain't playing Eminem in the hood. I mean, why would they be? Like,
ain't playing a lot of guys in the hood.
Right.
It's different. We didn't get to talk about this guy for bats. Y'all don't want to talk about him right quick, or we got a slide?
Oh, go ahead, Coop. You got it.
He's from Dallas. He's from Texas. When I hear him, I realize how much times have changed, because I can hear the Sway Lee. I can hear The Weeknd. I can hear Frank Ocean. It's a different time. Like, the generation's been inspired different. So it's like our ears, as OGs or old heads or whatever, we have to adjust to what we're hearing. It's like, he just made a wonderful project. And guys like us are the ones that need to be talking about it, because the kids are already talking about it, because he's got them on lock. But part of why he's got them on lock is because they look at him like a figure, the way that generation after us looks at The Weeknd and Sway Lee and Frank Ocean. Like, we caught the beginning of their runs, but they really weren't for us. They were for the next wave. This is what the wave after them looks like. You know what I'm saying? So when he's masked up and grilled out, but he's singing falsetto, it's like, people are like, what the fuck is that? It's like, it's the evolution of the game. And when
my son has been listening to him a lot. Has your daughter tapped into Four Bats?
Okay. That's how I got familiar with him, is via her through TikTok.
Mhm.
And so when I sat down and actually listened to his project for the first time over the last few days, I'm like, this project is great. Like, he's got a great singing voice, great songwriting, depth, lyricism. He's just ratchet enough and depressing for this generation, like The Weeknd and Frank Ocean. Like, it's perfect. It's
Yeah.
like, I totally see why this generation is feeling him, but it's like, we have to start feeling him and understand that it's like, we've had our time, we've had our run. There are new people here influencing the game, and we got to keep up. We can't stay stuck in the frame of mind. Oh, he don't sound like D'Angelo or Maxwell. He didn't grow up on D'Angelo and Maxwell. We did.
Mhm.
You know, he grew up on The Weeknd and Sway Lee and Frank Ocean, and that's exactly what it sounds like, and it sounds dope. And at the end of the day, it's supposed to be about the music. So, like, shout out to him. Like the mixtape he just put together is it's pretty brilliant. I was super impressed with how it's put together, the thought process, the writing, the singing, the production. It's a top-notch effort. And so, like, guys like us need to be stepping outside of our box and complimenting young men like him more often. Yeah. Because the product is there. That's why I'm saying my thing is always going to be the product. Is like, is the product there? When I listen to his product, it's like, oh, yeah, the product's there. I want to talk about fam, even if it's just like for 5 minutes to end the show. Because the product is there. That's what it's about. It's about the music. It's about the quality.
Yep.
The quality is supposed to be in the quality of the music. The quality of his music is there. That should all that's all that should matter. It don't have to be our shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not expecting him to make Footsteps in the Dark by the Isley Brothers. That's not realistic.
No doubt. No doubt.
So shout out to Four Bats. Shout out to my daughter and TikTok for putting me on. And now I've listened to this project. I'm super impressed. And I'm looking forward to supporting what he has next.
I think he has a joint with Usher coming up next.
He needs support from people like us, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, he needs respect from the OGs. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's got the kids. It's like, no, the G's need to get behind him. He just put together a quality project.
Yeah.
We had that last super chat.
It's another one. Yep.
DJ 253 with the $5 super chat. Appreciate you. Can you please give a breakdown why Slick Rick's Great Adventures is better than Eminem, Marshall Mathers LP? Have a friend who's in denial. I mean, it's simple. It don't take a breakdown. Like, you know, the greatest song on Marshall Mathers is Stand, which is a storytelling track. Great Adventures has about like 9 of those on that album. You know what I mean? It fathered, you know, storytelling. So, you know, that's reason alone why it should be ahead of the Marshall Mathers LP, man. That was one of that broke a lot of ground in hip hop at the time, you know. So
I'm just going to say this as nicely as I can. The Greatest Adventures of Slick Rick has 4 of maybe the 50 to 60 best rap songs ever created on that one album.
it does.
Include Lottie Dottie in the show. Slick Rick is actually walking around with 6 of the biggest 75 rap songs that ever existed. 4 of those songs are on this album. You actually can't find another album outside of maybe The Chronic that actually has 4 potential top 50 songs on that one album. Paid in Full and The Chronic. In terms of like rap songs that got released as singles that was like that big. I would actually, my mind tells me that it's actually just Paid in Full and The Greatest Adventures of Slick Rick that have that moniker, which is why they're both probably top 50 rap albums. Greatest Adventure.
I think we might have lost Coop.
President.
Oh, there you go.
Full, My Melody, I Know You Got Soul, and it has I Ain't No Joke. Like, it's I'm not, see, this is the thing, especially with his album about to drop like in literally 35 minutes. I'm not trying to discount him, but it's like to think that the Marshall Mathers LP and The Greatest Adventures of Slick Rick operate on the same level fundamentally, just in terms of the quality of songs, is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. It's not the same playing field. It's not. It's just not. Go listen to the records. Go listen to Mona Lisa. Think about how many people have like jacked bars just for Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa's not even the lead single. Children's Story still might be the greatest storytelling song in rap history that we've ever heard. It's still like, no matter what,
definitely up there.
It's still a top. How about this? On a bad day, it's a top 5 storytelling song all time in rap.
Easily.
Yeah.
Bad Day.
Yeah.
Doggy Style has Lottie Dottie on it. Where does that come from? That comes from Slick Rick. So like, this guy is super important. He is the definition of your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. Jay.
Yeah.
Snoop.
And a testament to how heavy that album is he didn't get to have a proper career for being locked down. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Hold on. How does the blueprint start?
the ruler's back.
Where'd that come from? The
There
greatest
you go.
adventures of Slick Rick. Yes, it
There
did.
you
It's
go.
number 2 on the greatest adventures of Slick Rick.
And Nas on Destroy and Rebuild. Whose style is he using?
Thank you. Lottie Dottie, straight up Jack. Look, CeeLo on Goodie Bag. Well, great Scott, is he a thief? Seems like he has a mouth full of gold teeth. Where did a guy from the SWATs in Atlanta, Georgia in 1995 get that from? He got that from Slick Rick off of Mona Lisa. So Snoop was listening to him in Long Beach. CeeLo was listening to him in the SWATs. Jay and Nas was listening to him in Brooklyn and Queens. He's your favorite rapper's favorite rapper.
Exactly. And let's be clear, Eminem probably would tell you that, or your friend, whoever, that Great Adventures of Slick Rick is better. You know what I mean? Because you're being your favorite rapper's favorite rapper or pulling from them to inspire something. One of the other great records on Marshall Mathers LP is The Way I Am. And it's not Slick Rick, but it's pulled from Rakim. So, it's in that same vein. A lot of these, these legends got kids in the game, man. So we got to respect them as such. So
I was told by somebody who knows that the only rapper that's ever hung in Nas's house is a picture of Slick Rick.
that would make sense. Rick is one of his biggest influences.
I've been told
Easily.
the only picture of a rapper that's ever hung in any of his houses is a picture of
Yeah.
Slick Rick.
What did he say on the Made Nas Proud, the J. Cole Let Nas Down remix? He said G-Rap, he said Slick Rick was like Jesus, G-Rap wrote the Bible. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. It's
he
like
holds Rick up high, man.
If you're not familiar with, yeah,
Breaking up, cool.
I'm partial. It's the first rap album that I ever heard from beginning to end. So it's like I'm totally biased about the album, like completely. Like I listen to The Greatest Adventures of Slick Rick more than I listen to It Takes a Nation and Paid in Full, even though I find them to be the superior product, but not by much.
It's more entertaining.
Yeah. My uncle used to play that album every day. I heard it every day when I was a kid, like 7 years old. Like it wasn't a day that went by I didn't hear the album. The album's phenomenal, man. And
how about this? It's better than anything Kane or KRS or Cool G Rap ever made, in my opinion. No disrespect.
it's close, but that would be fair.
Yeah, it's like that. That album is like that. So it making the top 10. Shout out to the ruler. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I put all the information in the chat for everybody on the Discord information I put in there. And I put the links in there for you guys also. Coop, you froze again. AG, you got any parting words? Coop,
No, man, we can go ahead. There he goes. We can go ahead and slide, man. We covered a lot of stuff today. Dope show, fellas.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, subscribe. What's up?
One more thing.
What you
J.
got?
Cole, if you're listening, you still better make album of the year. I ain't trying to hear that shit. I ain't trying to hear it. I don't care. If The Common and Pete Rock is a top 20 rap album of all time that comes out at midnight, you better make a top 15 rap album. I ain't handing out no hall passes this year. I told you this in January when this year started. I walked into this hip-hop business in January and said, J. Cole better make album of the year. I don't care about Kendrick, Drake, Beat. You better make rap album of the year.
Okay, but what if you don't get sent an OVO jacket, but you just so happen to get a Dreamville 10-speed bike? Are you going to change your stance any?
I would prefer to ride the bike in the wintertime with my leather jacket. I'll take both.
Right.
I'll take both of them for $500, Alex.
J. Cole ain't doing it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Cool. I mean, you got to come to grips with it. I've already came to grips with it. I think you should too. J. Cole is not going to drop an album of the year.
So AG,
He's
the next song, the next show that we do, we're just not gonna call Sean. Okay, that's what we.
I'm just saying.
I don't think, to be real, I don't think it'll be album of the year, but I think he will drop his best album. Let's say that.
I don't think he'll drop his best album either.
So you're saying his best album isn't good enough to beat Common and Pete Rock? That's what you're saying, essentially.
From what I heard so far, maybe not. And look at what we still got coming down the pipeline. Like Nas is still floating out there and going to drop. You know.
Okay. Yeah.
He's not going to do it, Coop. I'm sorry, Coop. He's not going to do it. I'm sorry. There's no, like you said, there's no evidence. So we can only go by what we have.
I hope Kendrick and Cole drop around the same time so we can see what that conversation looks like.
He's not going to, fellas. He's not going to do it. We might get Cole third or fourth quarter. We might get Cole third. He's been quiet. We're not hearing anything else about this album.
But that would create for an interesting conversation because Kendrick obviously separated himself in this era with the battle. Cole bowed out. But what if they both drop and Cole's album is clearly better than Kendrick's? Does that change the conversation any? I think that would be fascinating. So,
why we
you know,
why did I do this? Why did I?
Yeah.
Why?
That's what I'm talking about, AG.
It's not happening. I'm
It
sorry.
took you all to know, AG, but you finally came around to seeing things my way.
I'm sorry.
It took 3 hours. I knew if I just wore you down, I knew if I wore you down.
3 hours.
You said just wore you down.
Yo, pause. Yo, we gotta go. Like and subscribe to the channel.
What do you mean?
But you're finally here. Welcome to the land of milk and honey. You two are no longer in the wilderness. We're here to Dreamville. You come over here to Dreamville, you better make album of the year.
Yeah. Cole not dropping a classic, man. I'm trying to prepare you guys.
He doesn't. I don't think you understand, Sean.
Cole gonna be at his album release party. Be like, how many of y'all fans of Kendrick Lamar?
Right. It's going to be great. I'm done. I want y'all to understand this.
He's backed himself in a corner, and he need to back himself back out.
Yeah.
What if I tell you the album is really done, and he's not comfortable putting it out yet? What if I told you that?
We gonna get that. We gonna get that Khaled J. Cole album done. Song.
J. Cole album done.
Khaled needs somebody because everybody that was on the Khaled album before beef with each other. Khaled needs somebody right now.
You got jokes.
No, Khaled just signed a different deal. You guys knew that, right? Khaled just signed something with I think Republic.
He can sign with Republican, Democrat, Independent.
I'm mad at Khaled for I'm mad at Khaled for dropping whack albums. I'm mad at him for dropping whack Jordans. Like, man, I'm mad at Khaled.
I'm mad at his whack performance in Bad Boys for Life. It's like
yes. Yo, we gotta go.
You gotta go, man.
Terrible.
You gotta go. I'm getting crazy messages.
It's close to midnight. It's almost gremlin time for me. The more you let me talk, the worse this is gonna get.
Yo, like, subscribe, share. Like, subscribe, share. Make sure you get the word out. Like, subscribe, share. Join the Discord. We converse throughout the entire day on the Discord. We might talk about the albums tonight on the Discord. Coop is going to circle the block on, was it Saturday, Coop?
Yeah. Tentatively pulling up for a Saturday pull up. I don't know. People be watching us and trying to jock our steeds. Yeah. I'm paranoid, so I don't want to drop the time yet.
We'll start dropping joints like Beyonce. Just drop a secret joint out of nowhere like Beyonce on them.
Yeah.
When you see it coming.
For you old niggas, we on Facebook. For you young niggas, we on TikTok. I'm about to get our Instagram popping, but we're everywhere. We got something for everybody, something for the people. So like and subscribe to our YouTube page. All the YGs, TikTok, all the OGs, Facebook, all the prostitutes, Instagram. We're everywhere.
Stephanie, I think the Stephanie Young, I put the link in the chat about 10 minutes ago. If you scroll the chat, you will see the Hip Hop Talks Discord link. So just go up the chat and you'll see it. Jump in that. Tell your friend to tell a friend. The crew in that chat is crazy. Discord is crazy. Discord is
really is.
It's really crazy. They talk about everything. Money, sex, crime, everything.
I just got tired of waking up to 272 messages.
Right.
I
can't even keep up. I can't keep up. Like,
no, they be choosing violence in Discord. Y'all choose violence in Discord.
They're doing it right now. They're doing it right now. Like, so, it's the Hip Hop Talks Discord. We drop a lot of different information there, of course, and we also be dropping like exclusively in there also to get ready for the show. So please pull up on that. Like, subscribe, share. Like, subscribe, share. We appreciate y'all. Thank you all for the super chat. Thank you all for pulling up. We still have a large crowd even as we are closing out. So we appreciate the love. Thank you all. You'll see us again real soon. We're going to circle back and talk about the albums and other things that's coming up. So enjoy your night. Enjoy the new music that's dropping. Let us know how you feel about the music. You can actually respond to us in the chats over here as well. Keep the engagement going. Yes, sir.
You're still the worst fan base in the history of rap, even though the video is great. You're still the worst. It's not about me and him. It's about the fact that you suck. Okay? I want everybody to
play the Grammy music off the stage.
Oh, man.
Yo, we need to yank Coop off the stage like the Dark Lane demo tapes version of Drake.
Still the worst I've ever seen. I can't stand any of you. You understand? I don't like any of you.
We appreciate y'all. Jack, all of y'all. LP, T2 was a killer. Rika, we appreciate all of y'all. Thank you all for the comments. Thank you for the engagement. And we appreciate y'all.
They're not good people. They're not good people. They're not.
Okay. Y'all great people. Y'all great. Make sure y'all vote. Vote for us as well for next time around with the social media joint. Peace.
Coop for president.